slow motion crew, and we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the moss. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding.
Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel. Manchester City take on Tottenham Hotspur today. We've got a vote in the live chat right now. Are you happy with the Man City starting 11? 70% say yes so far. If you're not familiar with the starting 11, I'll read it off you to you now. Pep Guardiola has gone with a strange one for Spurs today, let's be honest. Ederson starts in goal for Manchester City, and it could be this or it could be a back four the other way around. I'll talk through the change it could be. But as I've got it here, it's Rico Lewis, Kyle Walker, Manuel Akanji and Nathan Ake. They make up the back four in some sense. Bernardo Silva and Roderick in the midfield with Mahrez and Jack Grealish on the wings. Julian Alvarez through the middle with Erling Haaland. That is the way that it's lined up on the City website, but I do think it will be, perhaps the variations could be Lewis at left back, Walker at right back, Akanji and Ake partner at centre back. And don't forget the City like to step Rico Lewis into midfield, and he can do that off the left hand side kindly. But let us know in the comments, and also let us know in the vote if you are happy with this starting 11 put out by Pep Guardiola. Before the game, Pep was asked about the absentees of firstly Phil Foden, who's not in the squad today, and the other one is Kevin De Bruyne, who is on the bench today. Pep Guardiola says that Phil Foden was very ill all last night, and for that reason Phil Foden hasn't made the squad today. He's returned to Manchester through illness, not due to injury. And Kevin De Bruyne misses out on the starting 11 for purely tactical reasons. Pep Guardiola thinks tactically will do better against Spurs with this team than with Kevin De Bruyne in there. Interestingly, and this is a big one for Manchester City, because City currently, as it stands, trail by 5 points in the Premier League table to Arsenal, who yesterday came unstuck, didn't they? Arsenal with a 1-0 defeat to Everton. A goal from James Tarkowski, assisted by Dwight McNeil. Two former Burnley boys combined for formerly Burnley manager in Sean Dyche. And Sean Dyche doing City a massive favour there, making sure that Everton take points off league leaders Arsenal. Arsenal now, after 20 games played, on 50 points, a plus 28 goal difference. Manchester City, after 20 games, the plus 33 goal difference on 45 points. 5 points away from league leaders Arsenal. A win today for City will take City within 2 points of Arsenal, breathing down the league leaders' nets. But you mustn't forget that the side from North London still have a game in hand if City were to play today. Spurs down in 5th place on 36 points. They're looking to get a little bit closer to Newcastle above them on 40. This is how the league table currently stands. But even with a win for Spurs here today, they couldn't leapfrog Newcastle into the top 4, and Newcastle still would be ahead on points and have a game in hand on Tottenham Hotspur. So Spurs just trying to close the gap. No Antonio Conte either for the Spurs team today. Antonio Conte has had a gallbladder removed, so he will not be with the Spurs side on the bench. But according to the Spurs assistant coach, he said that Antonio Conte played a big part in the team today, and he actually picked the starting 11 from what he saw in the training sessions before this game. So let's have a look at the Spurs side, the way they line up. The Spurs very similar to the side that played against City at the Etihad, a 4-2-3-1 for Tottenham Hotspur, and in there is a few players we know pretty well. No Pedro Porro today for Spurs. No Pedro Porro. He is on the bench. So it is Hugo Lloris who starts in goal for this Spurs side. Eric Dyer at the centre of a back three with Romero and Ben Davies. The wing-backs are Ivan Perisic and Emerson. Into the midfield, Bentancur and Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg in there. The front three for Spurs, a very, very good front three. Harry Kane leads the line. In support of him is Dejan Kulusevski and Heung-min Son, who got back to scoring action, didn't he, in the FA Cup action not too long ago, where Spurs went on to win, was it 4 or so nil against whichever team they played, and just, I think it was Preston North then, wasn't it, they played. And you mustn't forget also in this Spurs team, they have now a couple of options off the bench, don't they? Dan Yuma is obviously an option that could come on for Spurs. It's good to see a few people in the live chat today already. We've got Ridai here, Joe DS is here, MK and Sophie is here also, so hello to all you guys. Ridai says today's lineup is so risky, but it looks strong. Certainly strong, but certainly risky. We are just over 10 minutes or so away from the kickoff of this game. We will be doing commentary as always. Now, City have got a torrid record at Spurs, and if you're watching in the UK, perhaps today, then you'll be watching on Sky Sports. Spurs beating Manchester City 2-0 last time, and then 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. They always beat City, don't they, at Spurs' ground. Pep Guardiola on the sidelines looking pretty disappointed. City have been very poor in all the times they've faced Spurs, and City haven't been able to get a win at all at Spurs in all this time. In fact, Manchester City in 4 years playing at the London Stadium, including the Champions League fixtures they've played there, City have played the games against Spurs without a single win. No draws either. Every game has ended in defeat. City, in that time, haven't scored a single goal ever at Spurs' ground. And on top of that, City have missed 2 penalties as well. So that shows how crucial having a man like Erling Haaland in there and Julian Alvarez today perhaps is for Pep Guardiola, who maybe sees that and sees that City do need to be getting goals today. And perhaps they can only do that with those players in the team. It's going to be a big fixture, and pressure's certainly on Manchester City today. Arsenal will surely be watching this, and Arsenal fans watching this game, hoping their London rivals do them a favour. Obviously, Arsenal aren't big fans at all of Arsenal, but they do want, obviously... sorry, did I say Arsenal? Arsenal aren't big fans of Spurs. They do not want Spurs to be winning games, but to be fair to them, they know that today they'll be doing them a favour, just like when Manchester City fans were supporting Manchester United a few weeks ago when they faced Arsenal. But Arsenal, you know, couldn't be stopped, could they, by Manchester United? A 3-2 win for Arsenal in the last minute, a goal from Eddie Nketiah. And that's what the way Arsenal are looking. And I was watching the Arsenal versus Everton game yesterday, and I was thinking throughout the game, Arsenal are going to come back, Arsenal are going to come back. And to be fair, for the first time this season, I've seen a weak Arsenal side, an Arsenal side that I thought actually haven't had the quality they usually have. Usually Arsenal look very good, but they didn't at all against Everton. Sean Dyche tactically outdid Mikel Arteta and got things right for his Everton side, got them really flying, didn't they? And hopefully Manchester City are flying today under Pep Guardiola in this game against Tottenham Hotspur, because Spurs are a top side. I know they've not been amazing at times. We've seen them putting some poor performances, but Spurs have just this effect on Manchester City, don't they? Things get very Spursy for Manchester City against Tottenham Hotspur, and I'm a little bit worried about this game. I do think that City are going to have a really, really tough game on their hands. I really do. And I think just by previous performances, just by a feeling, which you don't want to have a feeling, do you, that it's not going to go your way. I have a feeling that things are going to go Tottenham Hotspur's way today. That's just the way it seems to happen for whatever reason against Tottenham Hotspur. They always find a way against Manchester City, but I'm desperately hoping that isn't the case today. City can get those 3 points. City can get within 2 points of Arsenal, and that will put City in a fantastic position towards the end of the season. Because you think if City are within 2 points of Arsenal, Arsenal could win their game in hand. That's still 5 points Manchester City are off. Okay, City are 5 points off Arsenal, but City have to play Arsenal twice yet in this season. 2 games against Arsenal for Manchester City put City in a position where if they win those both games against Arsenal and go on a big run until the end of the season, an 18-point... Say City win the next 18 games towards the end of the season, which is all the games they have left. That would mean beating Arsenal twice, and that would mean Manchester City are 1 point ahead of Arsenal if Arsenal win all their games by the 2 against Manchester City. That is how tight it is currently at the top of the table, and that makes a massive difference, doesn't it? So City need to get those 3 points today. We haven't got a nice running, to be honest with you. We have not got a nice running at all. I'll just list off some of the fixtures as I have a look now, but the fixtures aren't really ones you'd want Manchester City to see them playing. City today, of course, play Tottenham Hotspur. Next weekend on Sunday, City are at home against Aston Villa, and then it's the big one on the Wednesday. Wednesday, 15th of February at 7:30, Manchester City versus Arsenal. Forest away should be one where you expect City to pick up 3 points. Then it's away to Leipzig on the 22nd of February. Then away to Bournemouth on the 25th of February. Then away again. 4 away games in a row. 5 away games in a row for Manchester City. Bristol City away in the FA Cup in the 5th round, where City surely rest players before facing on the 4th of March Newcastle United. An early kickoff at home. Palace away, which is a notoriously hard fixture. Back against Leipzig, and then it's West Ham at home. Liverpool at home. The March and February look very different. A very difficult time for Manchester City, and it gets really bad when we get to sort of April. The 22nd of April, City face Brighton away, who are flying at the moment. Then Arsenal at home, who are flying at the moment. Then Fulham away, who are flying at the moment. Leeds United at home, which is maybe City's rest. And then Everton away, who are flying at home at the moment, or trying to fly at the moment under Sean Dyche, I suppose. Only 1 win. Notoriously tough side to face. They've obviously got a draw at the Etihad, and they have beaten Arsenal. And then Chelsea at home and Brentford away. That is all the big boys all in one go for Manchester City, isn't it? It's going to be very tough for Manchester City. The last time City won here at White Hart Lane was in May... at White Hart Lane, it wasn't actually at the new Spurs ground, was back in May 2015, where Sergio Aguero scored an absolute screamer, was it, hit the near post. That's what they're showing on Sky Sports at the moment. And of course, the last time City wore a black and red striped kit at Tottenham was the time City tore Tottenham apart. It was 5-1 and an Edin Dzeko hat-trick. An absolutely fantastic headers with 2 wonderful headers in there. A wonderful hat-trick by Edin Dzeko. Let's hope we're seeing that from Erling Haaland today. Does he have his Edin Dzeko moment? I'm not sure, but it could also be the annual masterclass from Heung-min Son here today. It really could be, couldn't it? And one thing I don't understand is, why isn't Aymeric Laporte starting? That is probably my biggest surprise. I thought he was fantastic when he came on against Arsenal. I feel like in the centre of that back three that we're playing at the moment, it seems to be, if you think about the back three today, it'll be Walker, Akanji and Ake in the back three. Lewis took it into midfield. Why doesn't Laporte step in there for Akanji maybe? Or perhaps, maybe I would have started maybe Akanji at right back to move into that back three, but Pep Guardiola obviously doesn't want to start Manuel Akanji at right back position. And of course, one thing we spoke about on the channel recently with Aymeric Laporte is he's not happy with his game time. I think him not starting today's game just adds to that, doesn't it, really? I think that Manchester City might be preparing for the departure of Aymeric Laporte this summer. If he's not happy with not starting and he continues to not start, I just cannot see Laporte being happy at the club, especially not starting today's game. I expect him to start, to be honest with you, but no Laporte. I mean, what does Ruben Diaz have to do for a start since his injury? We haven't seen Ruben Diaz come back at all, have we? And he's still yet to get in the starting 11 or hardly make an appearance in Manchester City. Jack Wilson is here. Good to have you, Jack. He says, come on, City. Well, hopefully, this is going to be a big 3 points for Manchester City today. We are just about 5 minutes away from kickoff. The players in the tunnel, Erling Haaland looking incredibly focused as he comes out here at White Hart Lane. Can we see an Erling Haaland hat-trick today against Spurs? Like I said, we saw it with Edin Dzeko. Can Riyad Mahrez show up once again against Tottenham Hotspur like he did only a few weeks ago in the game at the Etihad Stadium and bring City back from 2-0 down at half-time to 4-2 winners? Can Manuel Akanji put in another storming performance? Can Nathan Ake keep up his current wonderful form? Can Rico Lewis, at 18 years of age, continue to impress as a Manchester City player? Can Julian Alvarez score a couple of goals today? He's made an impact when he came on against Arsenal, and most games he was fantastic against Spurs, wasn't he? In that 2-0 defeat, scoring the goals there. City so much energy. Can Grealish keep up his performances that he's had so far this season? It's very, sort of very unpredictable, isn't it, what's going to happen today because of, the previous form against Spurs for Manchester City. So out come the sides now. City led out by their captain today, who is Kyle Walker, captain against his former side Spurs. Edison in the blue kit behind him. And the rest of the City team come out with Erling Haaland at the back of the side being walked out onto the field today. Who else is in this Manchester City side that's worth noting? It's actually Riyad Mahrez at the back of the queue here. And applauding to the fans by Nathan Ake, Erling Haaland, Riyad Mahrez there for Manchester City. Spurs captain by Hugo Lloris, who's come under a lot of criticism at the moment, hasn't he, the Frenchman? Could be on his way out of Spurs at the end of the season. It wouldn't surprise me. I think probably for Tottenham Hotspur, that's the best decision. Kulusevski in there for Spurs, a very, very dangerous player. I'm a little bit worried. I'm a lot worried. I just don't see this going to plan. And the starting 11, obviously, probably not what most people would have picked. But we'll run through the starting 11 of Manchester City and Spurs again today. Spurs start with captain and Frenchman Hugo Lloris in goal. It is a back 5 or 3 for Spurs. Romero, Dyer and Ben Davies at the centre of it, with Emerson Royal and Ivan Perisic in the wide areas. Rodrigo Bentancur and Emil Højbjerg in the midfield too. As for the front 3 for Spurs, it's the very dangerous Heung-min Son, Harry Kane and Dejan Kulusevski. Kane, who likes a goal against Manchester City, he'd like to say, but I don't think he does. The hat-trick he scored against City last season at the Etihad was the only time he's ever scored against City. Spurs have the likes of new signing Pedro Porro on the bench, Richarlison, Dan Newman, a few of the names to look out for coming on for Spurs today off the bench. As for Manchester City, in goal is the Brazilian Edison, who's also come under some criticism as a goalkeeper, considering how well we've seen Ortega play for City. A back 4 of Rico Lewis, Nathan Ake, Manuel Akanji and Kyle Walker, captain today at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. On to the midfield 3 for Manchester City. The midfield 2 is listed as today Rodri and Bernardo Silva alongside each other, Mahrez, Julian Alvarez and Jack Grealish. The front 3, the attacking 3, supporting yet another man in our forward line. It is Erling Haaland. 25 goals already this season for big Erling Haaland. Can he continue his goal running form? And one name to mention on the bench, a note to yourselves. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, Calvin Phillips, the likes of Laporte, also Diaz, Ortega, Cole Palmer on the bench. But Manchester City's new signing, Maximo Perrone, makes his first appearance in the City squad today. He is on the bench. Well, we are expecting Perrone to leave on loan at the end of the season, but perhaps Pep Guardiola just sees a little bit more in Maximo Perrone than we first thought, and he is in the Manchester City squad today. Dejan Kulusevski has scored on both previous Premier League appearances versus Manchester City, home and away. Can he continue that little bit of goal scoring form? Pep Guardiola immediately on the field already, giving information to Jack Grealish and Riyad Mahrez to get at Spurs in different ways. Mahrez and Grealish being given instructions by Pep Guardiola to be direct. Riyad Mahrez's goal involvements against teams in the Premier League. 11 goal involvements against Spurs, the most of all teams he's faced. So Riyad Mahrez is not a favourite for Tottenham Hotspur fans or Tottenham as a club. So we're seconds away from kickoff now at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which I have to say is one of the best stadiums surely in the Premier League. And obviously one of the newer ones as well. Kyle Walker ready for the coin flip with Hugo Lloris. City ready for kickoff. And I can see it from City's lineup straight away. It is Akanji and Ake in there. Rico Lewis is playing left back. That is actually the way it's gone. Kyle Walker at right back. Rico Lewis at left back. So Lewis does start in an unfamiliar role perhaps. I mean, an 18-year-old playing in a title-winning side in Manchester City. There's enough pressure on Rico Lewis's shoulders already, but then also to be played out of position as well is pretty difficult, isn't it, for young Rico Lewis? Haaland on the centre circle for Manchester City, and we have kickoff. City versus Spurs. It is underway here, and straight away Ederson sends it long towards Kyle Walker at the right back position, who wins the header against Perisic, tries to knock it onto Haaland, and Ben Davies forward for Spurs. Nathan Ake back into the danger zone. Haaland knocks it on to Perisic, and Perisic lumps it long again. Spurs playing a long ball early on. Manuel Akanji, calm, takes down the ball, passes it to Riyad Mahrez, leaves it for Alvarez, back to Mahrez, Alvarez again, into Walker. A good start by City there, playing out the press from Spurs. Rico Lewis pretty much doing the same job we've seen him do at right back, tucking into the midfield, but today on the left-hand side of midfield. Here's Bernardo Silva for City. Haaland makes a running behind. Bernardo doesn't go to him. That's strange. I would have said he should have gone from there. Mahrez gives it away, and Heung-min Son picks it up, and Spurs look to counter now. Here's Heung-min Son running at Manchester City with energy. Son straight away. Son runs at City. Son still going here. Son past Nathan Ake. Jack Grealish getting back for his team and pass it back to Ederson, who slips as he clears it away upfield. But that's a real lively start for Heung-min Son. I feel like Bernardo Silva should have been looking for Haaland there initially. Rico Lewis beats Kulusevski, to the ball on this left-hand side. It's a throw into Spurs. That's a really lively start from Heung-min Son. Running through City's midfield, turning, and no one could seem to catch up with him. Rodri eventually got near him to try and put him off, and it was a tackle by Jack Grealish helping his side out defensively. Rico Lewis wins the header. Grealish. Bernardo Silva back to Nathan Ake. Ake. Wide to Lewis on this left-hand side. He's going to have to use his left foot a lot, isn't he? We'll have to see the quality of his left foot. Pep Guardiola said in his press conference the other day that there is a Manchester City midfielder who can play at left back. He said not Phil Foden, and the staff said who? Pep Guardiola said, you'll see. Does that mean that we're going to see Maximo Perrone perhaps at left back? He is left-footed, the new signing. Or is it Bernardo Silva, maybe? Calvin Phillips, we're uncertain. Rodri here for Manchester City. Wide right to Kyle Walker, captain today. The England international. Back to Manuel Akanji. Akanji. Rodri. Walker. Alvarez making runs in behind. Walker looks to switch the play to Jack Grealish. It's a bad pass by Kyle Walker straight to the head of Emerson Royal. Rico Lewis in there trying to win it off Kulusevski. Emerson Royal in a foot race with Rico Lewis. He's doing really well to keep up with the Brazilian. Lewis still going here. Emerson. Lewis with him. Emerson still. He's pulled Lewis's shots all over the place here, Emerson. Well done, Lewis on the block, and then he gets it back to Jack Grealish. Well done, Emerson. But Rico Lewis there getting his shot pulled by Emerson as he ran through. Lewis into Ake. Back to Rico Lewis. Into Grealish, back to Ake again. Ake along towards Erling Haaland. Romero heads it back into Bentancur. Down to Højbjerg with Alvarez, good work, and now City can work it wide to Kyle Walker by Rodri, and City got space on his far side. Bernardo would be probably good at right back because of his engine, says Jack Wilson. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. I just think, I just can't see it, but why not? Why not? Maybe he's the man he's meaning. Rico Lewis for City here in the central midfield here. Bernardo Silva, turn. Bernardo's got to then go for Haaland, really. Højbjerg makes the challenge. I didn't think it was a foul, personally. But it's a free kick for City. Bernardo Silva is barking instructions towards Riyad Mahrez, thinking that far side. It's a clear foul by Højbjerg. Doesn't get the ball, just takes out Bernardo Silva. Free kick for Manchester City. I think Bernardo Silva, 2 opportunities now, needs to get his head up and look to see Haaland making the runs. He's not looking for Haaland going in behind, and we need to be looking for Haaland more. We need to find his runs because he's destructive. When he gets through, you're thinking he's going to score. Mahrez on this free kick for Manchester City. Looks across. City have got Haaland, Rodri, Manuel Akanji on the far right-hand side. Very central this free kick, but quite a far way out from the goal. Manuel Akanji is towards the far post. Doesn't find Rodri either. Heung-min Son picks it up for City. Sliding challenge by Bernardo Silva. Takes it off Heung-min Son. Then wide by Rodri to Bernardo Silva. Crossing by Bernardo Silva. Off Perisic. Back out to Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez still. Mahrez onto his left foot. Mahrez with a shot here. Headed away by Eric Dyer. Hugo Lloris was scrambling. Corner Manchester City here. Well, Mahrez there was going to try and bend one on his left foot to the top left-hand corner. And Eric Dyer nods it away. And Hugo Lloris was scrambling just in case that deflected towards the top corner, just in case it worked its way through. Corner City to be taken by Riyad Mahrez. Or is it Jack Grealish? Grealish there. Mahrez there for the short pass as well. Grealish for City. It's a lofted one by Grealish up towards Nathan Ake at the far post. Heading back across the box. Emerson can't deal with it. Manuel Akanji in there, but can't get the power in the header. And into the hands of Hugo Lloris. That was a really good chance for City. Nice inventiveness from Grealish. A lofty cross to Ake. Wins the header, but no one at the far post to head it in. Akanji heads it into Haaland's head, and that just makes it deflect slowly into Hugo Lloris' hands. Terry Albion says, come on City, win today, you win the title. I'm not quite sure, but here's Erling Haaland for Manchester City. I'm not sure of that one. I think City have still got to beat Arsenal, haven't they? And Arsenal will be up for that game. Bernardo Silva, good tackle on Emerson Royal. And it goes behind for a corner here. And they have given a corner to Manchester City. Emerson Royal can't believe it. Bernardo with a sliding challenge on Emerson Royal. It then flicked off the heel of the Brazilian. And behind for a corner. Good pressing from Bernardo, who personally I wouldn't have had in my starting 11 today. But he started pretty well as Bernardo Silva. Corner Manchester City again. Will City go for the same sort of lofty cross by Grealish to the far post to Nathan Ake? No, they go short to Grealish. Bernardo Silva turns, clips it in Bernardo. Rodri in there. It's Alvarez at the far post! Oh, good volley by Alvarez, but he couldn't find the back of the net. Heung-min Son beats Alvarez to it. They look to counter, and Alvarez just pushes Heung-min Son, pulls him over, and it's a free kick Spurs his way. Well, that is cynical from Julian Alvarez. Arms all over Heung-min Son. Made sure Spurs don't counter. It was nicely struck volley by Julian Alvarez. Just couldn't find the net because there were so many Spurs players in there to block it away. Ben Davies. Perisic. In swinger by Perisic towards the centre circle to Kulusevski. Intercepted by Ake. Down to Rodri. City back in possession. Rico Lewis. Manuel Akanji. Akanji here on the halfway line for City. Into the middle for Rico Lewis. Lewis, little ball roll away from Harry Kane and then into Kyle Walker. Walker back into Akanji. Lots of space in that left-hand side. The way Rico Lewis is playing. Too far over for my liking. But maybe that's the instructions of Pep Guardiola. Nathan Ake. Bernardo Silva. Grealish. Jack Grealish, and he goes back to Ake. Spurs, good pressing from Højbjerg, from Kulusevski, from Kane. Pushing City backwards, and Rodri's had to go all the way back to goalkeeper Ederson now. Good pressing from Spurs. Ederson. Into the middle to Erling Haaland, who's picked it up, Haaland here. Got to be quicker. Haaland. Grealish. Jack Grealish for Manchester City. Rodri. Rodri to bring the ball forward for City. Steps just over the halfway line and plays it out to Riyad Mahrez on this right side. And instantly flicked into Kyle Walker, who nods it over the top to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo back into Mahrez, who just can't take it. Mahrez there. Bernardo back in there for a challenge nearly by City. I think it was actually Julian Alvarez there combining with Riyad Mahrez. But City just couldn't get the attack going. Spurs in possession now, who work the ball much quicker forward than Manchester City do. Emerson round the corner to Rodrigo Bentancur. Rico Lewis has got Kulusevski on his own here on this far side. Bentancur, Harry Kane, offside against Harry Kane, who stepped forward here. That's poor from Kane. But it's clever from City's back line. Step forward there as the ball was played into Harry Kane. Kane has not played much of a role into Spurs' first 7 minutes. Rodri, Alvarez. Turns it round to Walker on this far right-hand side. Kyle Walker back to Manuel Akanji. Akanji. Rodri. Into Alvarez again. Laid off to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo. Heavy few touches, but he spins away. A little pirouette away from Heung-min Son. Bernardo into Rodri. And Rodri clips it into Nathan Ake. Good possession held by Manchester City so far. Ake. Rodri. Rodri still. Kyle Walker. Riyad Mahrez. Back to Kyle Walker he goes. Heavy touch by Walker in that. Force him to go back to Edison with the press of Spurs here. So City the more side in control, but we know that's the way the game's going to go. We know that Spurs want to counter-attack City. Good hold-up play by Erling Haaland down to Jack Grealish. Grealish having a run at the Spurs side. Grealish still. Grealish. Spurs fans urging the players to get a bit close to Jack Grealish. Kyle Walker for Manchester City. Wide to Riyad Mahrez. A bit of space here against Perisic, but two have come across in Son and Perisic to make him just work the ball back to Rodri. Walker. Mahrez once more. Still against Perisic here. Son helping his side out defensively. Rodri. Ake. Miscontrol by Ake. Just allow Spurs a few vital seconds to get further out. Grealish. Wide to Bernardo. Back to Ake. Ake into Manuel Akanji. There's a good bit of movement here by Alvarez, but Akanji decides not to take the risky ball to him. Walker. Rodri. Back to Walker. And Walker goes back to goalkeeper Edison. Feel like Akanji maybe should have been a bit more riskier there in his passing. Got in towards Julian Alvarez. City ball into Haaland again. Good hold-up play by Haaland once more. Romero's following Haaland pretty much everywhere. Rico Lewis. Who do you think Man City will be signing this summer? Says Sam Evans. I think they'll sign a winger, they'll sign a left-back, and they'll certainly sign a midfielder. Apparently James Maddison is a big hit at City. Especially for Pep Guardiola. I have a feeling about this one, says Jack Wilson. Spurs just one of those teams City always struggle against. Quite right, Jack. And I think the game is certainly going the way we expect it to. A lot of possession for City. But they've got to score goals. They've got to score the chances today. Because Spurs will hit us on the counter. And they'll catch them on the counter. That's what Spurs are here to do, aren't they? Here's Manuel Akanji. Ake. Jack Grealish for City up against Emerson. Emerson tight to Grealish. Ake. Rodri. Followed by Højbjerg. Rodri into Walker. That's a good pass by Rodri in the midfield. Bernardo Silva dropped deep and picks it up. Bernardo running at the Spurs players now. Walker again. Mahrez on this far side. Riyad Mahrez. Walker. City trying to work this Spurs defence as they do from right to left. Rico Lewis in a central position. Found by Akanji. Bentancur for the back of Rico Lewis. Another foul on Lewis there that he wasn't happy with. Ball forward here to Eric Dyer, who heads it off the back of the head of Julian Alvarez behind for a throw into Spurs. But a little barge in the back by Rodrigo Bentancur and Rico Lewis. And that seemed a bit of a tactic from Spurs, didn't it? In the game at the Etihad. To have a bit of a go at Rico Lewis, to foul him, to kick him. And it looks like Spurs doing the same today. Ball forward by Spurs in the throw-in. Akanji nods it out for a throw into Spurs again. Harry Kane over it. He decided to take it this time ahead of Perisic. Akanji. Ben Davies. Eric Dyer. Can Spurs get a bit of possession themselves this time? Romero. Pressed by Haaland. Bentancur. Back to Eric Dyer. Bentancur again. Spurs the 3 at back and the 2 in front. The wide men in Emerson Royal. And Perisic helping out as well. Eric Dyer in his own box here. Given to him by Lloris. Davies, and good pressing by Riyad Mahrez, close it down, and the ball deflects into Rodri's path. It goes back to Akanji, and Manchester City are back in possession here. That is poor from Spurs, trying to get a bit of possession, but it's not working for them at the moment. But I don't think that's their game today. Rico Lewis skips past Kulusevski. Lewis. Grealish. Against Kulusevski. Grealish running at Emerson. Into Bernardo Silva. It's a bad pass. Falls back through to Haaland. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo giving away. Rodri picks it back up for City. Rodri round Son. Grealish in space on the far left-hand side, and Rodri will find him. Jack Grealish one-on-one with Emerson here. Kulusevski helping out in the wide areas. Grealish. Rico Lewis. Lewis. Switch of play to Mahrez. It's a nice pass by Rico Lewis, who digs it out from the ground. Walker. Mahrez pulls it back to him. Walker at the far post for Grealish. Good header by Emerson Royal, and somehow it's a free kick free kick Spurs' way. Well, lovely crossing by Walker. Emerson goes flying in to head it behind for a corner. Grealish is behind him, of course, trying to get on the end of that one, and Andy Madley gives a free kick. Where's the free kick here? I don't understand it, Adley Madley. Good defending by Emerson, but it's not a free kick for Spurs. I just don't know how it's been given as a free kick for Spurs. Awesome unicorns here. Hello. But I just don't get Andy Madley there. How is that a free kick? I don't know. No idea. Here's Romero. Spurs play it out from the back. Emerson Royale, tackled by Bernardo Silva. Good pressing again. Romero sends it long and behind for a throw-in to Manchester City. Good pressing from City again here at the start. So 70% of you guys were happy with the starting 11 City have put out today. Let's see if we're happy come the end of the game. 13 minutes, just 13 and a half minutes gone so far in this fixture. Walker. Being pushed back to his own goal from the pressing from Heung-min Son. Akanji under pressure from Kane. And City back to Ederson once again. In the all-blue today, Ederson. Kyle Walker for Manchester City. Walker. Wide to Akanji. Rodri. Into Alvarez, who beats Perisic to it. Well done, Julian Alvarez. Back into Rodri. Rodri's not got any passing angles. He goes into Rico Lewis, who's given it away here to Højbjerg. Chance for Harry Kane! And 1-0 Spurs, and Rodri gives Spurs a goal. Spurs have hardly touched the ball. And Rodri gives him a goal again. Well, they gifted Spurs a goal in the first game, didn't they? And he's gifted it on one here again, Rodri. Spurs gifted Spurs. Rodri gives Spurs a goal. Again. Again. Just like he did in the game at the Etihad. Rodri gives it straight. Gives it away. Rico Lewis can't get in the end of it. And Højbjerg into Kane. Spurs 1, Manchester City 0. Crap from Rodri. Good pressing from Spurs. What a crap pass from Rodri. It's absolute suicide pass, isn't it, from Rodri to Rico Lewis. And Harry Kane scores. Well done, City. Rodri, terrible. I mean, Ederson. We need to talk about Ederson at some point. I've been looking at some stats, actually, of City's goalkeeping performances. Ederson is actually one of the worst performing goalkeepers in Europe, in fact, for shots faced. Shocking from Rodri, 1-0 Spurs. And that could be City's title challenge over here today. That'll be it, I think, if City lose today against Spurs. Terrible performance that City have done that. Harry Kane now with 267 goals for Spurs. Spurs all-time goal scorer. Spurs all-time goal scorer found by Rodri. And Spurs are gifted a goal. Absolutely gift-wrapped. Christmas has come late or early, however you want to call it, for Harry Kane. And City just give it straight away. Rodri, shocking. Absolutely shocking from Rodri. Just don't know what Rodri's doing. Our two best defenders in Laporte and Ruben Diaz are sat on the bench. MK says, let's stay positive for a City win. We can only try, can't we? But we know the way things happen at Spurs. We know the way things happen in Manchester City against Spurs. And it's looking like Manchester City have thrown it away already. What a terrible pass from Rodri. Straight to Spurs. And gives Spurs the lead. And gives Spurs the confidence now. Romero for Spurs. Emerson tackled by Grealish. I think you've got to drop Rodri after that. The problem is Calvin Phillips is back up. He's done it twice now, Rodri. Emerson. Davies long. Akanji wins the header against Kane. Gives it straight back to Harry Kane. Good tackle by Bernardo Silva. City have got to wake up and get going here now. Bernardo Silva. The goals we're giving away are absolutely embarrassing. Kane pushes Bernardo Silva to the ground. Referee says no. Free kick. Spurs give it straight back. Rico Lewis. Haaland says, get going, Rico. Let's get forward at least. Wide to Jack Grealish here. Grealish. Grealish still. Into Rodri, who can't get there. And Rodri back to Nathan Ake. Ake. We are a mess, says Lanky. You're not wrong. At the back, we're absolutely terrible, aren't we? I mean, that pass by Rodri is just nonsensical, isn't it? Walker. Akanji. Lewis. Rodri. Rodri. Lewis. Here's Rico Lewis again. Back to Rodri. City looking to try and break down the opposition. Just can't. Rodri. Walker. Walker. Rodri. City can't find a way through Spurs at all. Spurs looking very good. Grealish. Ake. Akanji. Lewis. Rico Lewis for Manchester City. Lewis. Rodri. Rodri finds Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva here. A chance for City. Bernardo Silva's going to play the pass. Bernardo Silva shoots. Straight into the hands of Lloris. I think Bernardo Silva doesn't like Erling Haaland. I'm trying to not say that, but I have to say it. I think Erling Haaland and Bernardo Silva are not friends. They can't be, because every time Bernardo Silva has a chance to pass to Haaland, he decides any other option but that. I don't think he likes Erling Haaland. Ball forward by Spurs. Edison on the end of it. So poor from City. Here's Walker. Edison. Edison for City. Ball forward by him towards Jack Grealish and headed out by Emerson behind for a throw-in. Throw-in for City. City are struggling here. And City, I just don't know. I don't know. Like Lanky said, we're a mess. Here's Rico Lewis of Manchester City. Back to Nathan Ake. Ake. Haaland. Back to Ake. Ake over the top to Jack Grealish. Intercepted by Emerson. And Spurs look to counter City once again. Rodri makes a challenge. Haaland can keep this one in. Haaland. Taken down. Erling Haaland by Højbjerg. Free kick for City. Look forward to when we go 2 down and win 6-2, says Lanky. Yeah, I mean, I think Spurs, if Spurs get a second goal, we might turn up in the second half again, but I don't see Spurs making the same mistakes as last time. Though you never know. Walker. Manuel Akanji. It's just like, Spurs are going to cause us problems anyway today on the counter, and they still probably will. But the fact that we've just gift-wrapped a goal from doesn't help, does it? Ball forward to Julian Alvarez here. Who can't beat Ben Davies, to a push on Ben Davies in the process by Alvarez. Referee plays advantage, it's into the hands of Hugo Lloris anyway. But I mean, we can't be gift-wrapping goals for teams, can we? We can't be saying, here you go, score against us, can we really? I think Rodri's got to go back to Edison there and send it long. I don't know what he's trying to do, play it to Rico Lewis. Headed on by Kane, intercepted by Nathan Ake. Spurs want a handball, referee says play on. Jack Grealish for City, Grealish. Taken down, but it was a tackle. Got the ball. Agnosis Gaming says, hey, Jack, come on, City, fight. This Spurs are a bit of a bogey team for us, but we've got to fight. Quite right, we've got to fight, haven't we? Free kick Spurs his way here. For a foul by City. We can still do it. City can still do this, but judging by the first 21 minutes, I think otherwise. Harry Kane fouled by Jack Grealish. Harry Kane tried to take the free kick quickly, but the referee, I think, wanted to give a yellow card to Jack Grealish. However, he's not got one, I don't think. Lanky says he blames the fact that Ashton isn't here. Yeah, I'm surprised. I think Ashton's only missed ever one live that he's ever been a part of the channel on. Dyer. Romero. Into Højbjerg. Cut out by Rodri. Here's Jack Grealish. City with a chance here. Grealish. Got to switch the play here, Grealish. Pokes it into Bernardo Silva. Round the corner to Alvarez. Alvarez back over the corner to Bernardo Silva. Can't find him. Intercepted by Spurs and Emerson lumps it away here. Emerson, Højbjerg. Under pressure from Alvarez. Tackled by Rico Lewis. Lewis. Goes wide to Riyad Mahrez. Absolutely crunched by Bentancur. And that's a yellow card. Yellow card for Rodrigo Bentancur. He's gone straight for Rico Lewis there to crunch him once again. As we saw in the game at the Etihad. Lanky says, would you rather have Cavra or Rafa Leao? I think Cavra is the better player, Lanky. But I think Rafa Leao, City need him more. I think City need him more because he's a bit different to what we've got. I think he's got explosive pace, and that's something that Cavra hasn't got. And what City are missing in the final third is explosive pace. So that's why I go for Leao over him. The yellow card for Rodrigo Bentancur. That was a poor one. Poor tackle. Went straight for Rico Lewis there. The Spurs fans are not happy. They thought Spurs, there were a couple of fouls in there that should have gone their way. And Bentancur, he thought it was a free chance to go and put in a smashing challenge on Rico Lewis. And Rico Lewis wasn't particularly protected, was he, in that first leg? On that first game at the Etihad. Spurs went for him. And they've done so far today as well, it feels like. Mahrez takes the free kick. It's a poor one straight to Spurs, and Spurs counter now. Here's Kulusevski. Skips past Riyad Mahrez, and Spurs are away here. Kulusevski for Spurs. Kulusevski up against Jack Grealish, getting back for his side. Grealish. Good tackle by Grealish on Kulusevski, well played. But Riyad Mahrez, an absolute shocker. Walker into Spurs, back to Spurs. Bernardo Silva wins it back here. There's a foul on Kyle Walker as by Kulusevski, three kick City's way. Shadow says you should rename the channel to the City Stand. I don't think so. That's pretty much like copying the United Stand, isn't it, really? And I don't want to be anything like the United Stand, to be honest with you. Rodri brings the ball forward. Rodri for City. Poor by Rodri again, tackled by Spurs. Haaland skips past one challenge and a second one. Emerson lumps it away. Rodri heads it off. Rodri is having an absolute shocker today. An absolute shocker. And the Spurs fans are booing. But I just don't know what's up with Rodri. It looks like we've got Jack Rodwell in there at the moment. Manuel Akanji for Manchester City brings the ball out to Kyle Walker on this right-hand side. Walker just got no passing options at all. Akanji. Rico Lewis. Lewis into Ake. Nathan Ake's got to bring the ball forward on his own now. Back to Jack Grealish. Grealish past Kulusevski. Grealish drives forward. Grealish. Back into Bernardo Silva. Bernardo. Just no option to this left-hand side for him at all. Literally have one player in the wide areas and everyone else is through the middle. Rico Lewis. Kyle Walker. To the right-hand side to Mahrez. Back to Walker. Akanji. And Akanji is going to end up going back to Ederson here. Rodri. Akanji. And back to Ederson we go. Well, we just cannot lay a glove on Spurs here. Ederson for Manchester City. Into the midfield to Haaland. Oh, and Haaland! Really late challenge by Romero. The yellow card's coming out for Romero here, who snaps Erling Haaland late. Haaland knew what he was doing there. He knew Romero was going to come and foul him. And he's a walking red card, Romero. And he might continue to be. Flying in for a challenge here. Absolutely nowhere near the ball. Stupid challenge by Romero. And he gets a yellow card for a disgustingly late challenge on Erling Haaland there. No interest in the ball. Just sliding in to injure him. Lanky says he reckons Mitoma could be a quick and explosive direct, something we missed. Very true, Lanky, but I tell you what, Brighton for Mitoma, you're talking 85, 90 million, aren't you? Maybe 100 million for Mitoma. If they want 90 million for Moises Caicedo, imagine how much they want for Mitoma. It'd just be a ridiculous sum of money. Akanji, Rico Lewis for Manchester City. Lewis. Under pressure. Lewis. And it's a foul Spurs' way, I think. Lewis continues to dribble the ball away. The referee's doing a drop ball here. A drop ball? I don't understand it and why. A drop ball to Manchester City. I don't know why it's not a foul. It's either a foul to Spurs, a foul to City. The referee instead plays a drop ball to Rodri. I don't understand that at all. Here's Bernardo Silva for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva looks up to Haaland but says, I don't pass to Erling Haaland. Passes it into Alvarez. Couldn't find him. And Spurs lump it away with Perisic. Kane against Akanji. Akanji loses out to Harry Kane and ball in behind to Kulusevski here. Terrible from Manuel Akanji. Then Kulusevski. Kulusevski went on with Ake. Kulusevski. Son. Pass Rodri. Son looking to pull the trigger. Wide to Emerson Royale. 1-on-1 with Grealish. Emerson past Grealish. Can't get the cross in. And Spurs win a corner. Shocking from Akanji as well. He's on the same level of Rodri at the moment. Shouldn't be in the City first team. I tell you what. What's Ruben Diaz and Laporte got to do to get in the team? How is Akanji better than either of those two? Pep Guardiola looks very unhappy. Very unhappy. Goals from corners this season, not to worry you, but Spurs and Fulham, both the top goal scorers with 10. And Spurs have a corner here. 27 minutes gone. Corner for Spurs. Harry Kane in there. They take it short, do Spurs. Perisic swings to the far post. Harry Kane here being pushed and pulled. Grealish gets it away. And Kyle Walker lumps it away for Manchester City. Long and chased by Mahrez. Emerson Royale. Back to his goalkeeper here. Mahrez a little pull on Bentancur. He's not happy there. I think Mahrez is just winding up Bentancur because he thinks he can get him a red card. Ake with a good header on Romero. Spurs back down to Bernardo Silva. Alvarez takes it down. Alvarez under pressure and loses it out to Bentancur. Spurs in the counter once again here. Rodrigo Bentancur. Wide left to Harry Kane. Surrounded by City players and goes back to Emerson Royal. Lanky says free Diaz. I know. I mean, could do with someone who can defend in this team at the moment. Akanji's been embarrassed by Kane. But they didn't score from that opportunity. It wasn't a gilt-edged chance like Rodri just gifted Spurs, did it? Lloris. Into Davies. Tony Law's a Spurs fan, wanting Spurs to lose today. Typical I tuned in and we're winning. Let's hope we can repeat the recent game. Is that because you don't want Arsenal to win the league? I assume so. Because I understand that. I understand that. Here's Kulusevski in behind to Perisic. Ake across here. Good defending by Ake. Perisic into Nathan Ake. Ake looking for a passing option. There isn't one. He has to lump it long to Haaland and dealt with by Romero. Spurs continue this attack now and Spurs looking pretty good. Well, Tony, at the moment, Spurs are looking a top side. Looking better than City. City on the ropes a little bit. Ben Davies, under pressure from Alvarez, just dives the floor. He does. And they get a free kick. They get a free kick to Ben Davies. For absolutely nothing. And Pep Guardiola asked the referee how is that a free kick. I mean, Ben Davies there slips and he just asks for a free kick. Nothing in that from Julian Alvarez. Like it's the most City thing to have Arsenal lose and not take advantage of it, of course. Manchester City, Lanky, have to always do everything the hard way, don't they? And if that means lose the next 10 games and then having to, do their best and they'll still beat Arsenal and then lose all the games around it. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Eric Dyer for Spurs. Switch of play. Lovely switch of play, actually. Out to Emerson on his far right-hand side. Emerson balling behind to Harry Kane, who's one-on-one with Akanji here. Kane down to Kulusevski. Kulusevski around Ake. Kulusevski with a shot blocked by Ake. Kyle Walker. Goal-saving challenge from Kyle Walker and Ake there. Rodri gives it away to Spurs once again. I think Rodri's got a white shirt on under his City one because he's played more passes to the team in white. I think Rodri's coming off at half-time. He looks like he's just distraught in the way he's performing, to be honest with you. Here's Ben Davies for Spurs. Wide to Perisic. Crossing by Perisic and into the hands of goalkeeper Edison. Easy one. Shadow says, as a United fan, I hope this channel grows more. Fantastic content, deserves more subs. Thank you very much, Shadow. Of course, that's to everyone. If you can subscribe to the channel, if you can like this video, that'd be fantastic. We continue to grow at a very steady pace, this channel. We've not exploded at any time yet, but I'd love to explode at some point, if that was possible. Thank you very much, Shadow, for that comment. Here's Julian Alvarez for Manchester City. Got Maris to the right of him and Rodri in the middle. Goes into the centre circle to Rodri. Across to Rico Lewis. Rodri looks devoid of confidence. I think he's frustrated with himself. Jack Grealish on this left-hand side. Grealish, one-on-one with Emerson Royal. Tony Law says, great commentary, thank you very much. Ake. Back out to Grealish on the left-hand side. Emerson across to him. Kulusevski there as well. Grealish and Mahrez are trying to find space in those wide areas for City. But Kulusevski and Son are helping out the wing-backs. And it's making City find it very difficult to have any space for the wide men for one-on-one situations. Ake. Rodri. Here is Rico Lewis. Ake. Paolo loves the commentary too. Thank you very much, Paolo. Walker into Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez. To Rodri. Good combinations by City now. Find a few passes, but Spurs continue to press very, very well. And City have been forced all the way back to goalkeeper Edison. City just can't get at Spurs. Edison with a shocking ball along the floor straight to Spurs, but it's a bad pass by Perisic and into Rodri. City back in possession. Rodri. Bernardo Silva's got to turn and go at Spurs now. Bernardo Silva got Grealish on the left-hand side. Bernardo decides not to go into Erling Haaland. Grealish. One-on-one with Emerson for the first time in the game. Grealish clips one in here. Ben Davies away. Mahrez against Son. Mahrez beats Son to it, and then Perisic in there to lump it long and away. Akanji. In a physical battle with Harry Kane. He loses out once again. Nods it straight down to the path of Højbjerg. Spurs catch City in the transition. Kulusevski. Back to Højbjerg. Emerson Royal. Spurs just trying to calm the game down a little bit. Play at their own pace. Every time Spurs pick up the ball, they want to go quickly at City. And sometimes just need to reserve their energy. And they are doing that at the moment as they pass it along the back three. Gundogan DM's better than Phillips. The Yorkshire Pirlo. They said he's more like the Yorkshire Puncheon. Yeah, I mean... That's pretty bad, isn't it? So Højbjerg's gone down here for Spurs. And so has Jack Grealish of Manchester City. And Grealish seems to be in a lot of pain for City here. Højbjerg's got a cut on the knee. I'm not sure where that's come from. And Jack Grealish down injured. Ridai, I went to have a shower to come back to this. Who's the better team, though? Certainly Spurs, Ridai. City have had a lot of the ball, but they've not created a single thing. Spurs look dangerous when they come forward. But the goal that Spurs scored was an absolute gift from Manchester City. Rodri tries to pass it into Lewis, gives it straight to Spurs' Højbjerg, into Kane, who's one-on-one. And, I mean, the City players around him, but they don't get across to him quick enough. And it's poor. Paolo says we can't play without De Bruyne. Well, Pep Guardiola made a big thing by saying De Bruyne is not in the team today for tactical reasons. Well, tactically, he's got it wrong then, hasn't he? Although, I mean, despite not creating anything, Pep Guardiola's not at fault for the goal City concede, is he? Rodri is. Really poor. Grealish been our best player. It typically gets injured. It certainly is, isn't it? Well, when Rodri gave away that ball, Jack Grealish was trying to get back, and so was Akanji, and so on other players. They couldn't stop Harry Kane putting in the back of the net. Pep Guardiola on the sidelines smashed his water bottle on the floor in frustration. Ridai's going to give a late prediction of 3-2 for City. How are they going to come back? Well, Jack Grealish here seems to have a hip injury, which he's struggling with. Enzo Mansquera talking to Erling Haaland on the sideline here, trying to give the big Norwegian some tips on what can help City. 34.5 minutes played in this game today. Pep Guardiola is very unhappy, I think. MK says, well said, Ridai. Well, it could be a 3-2, couldn't it? City need to start trying to find Erling Haaland, don't they? Every run he makes, they don't look for him. It's so frustrating. Here's Davies. Perisic. Bad touch. Perisic back to Hugo Lloris. Lloris long on the left foot, and he scuffs the pass straight out for a throw into Manchester City. Caught by midfielder Rodri. Rodri. Found by the throw-in by Walker. Anyone else saw Maddie's goal, says Ridai? We did. What's that now for James Maddison? 15 goals this season for James Maddison. And 8 assists, I think that is, in all competitions. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. Rodri. Still Rodri, and he's had to go all the way back to Edison again. City just haven't got a pass. Edison looks long instead. Romero heads it forward. City's midfield can't reach it, but Rodri does ahead of Bentancur. Makes a bad header. I tell you what, Bentancur, we could easily get him sent off the way he's playing. Throwing his leg in at absolutely everything. The same with Romero. Mahrez. Back to Walker. Into Alvarez. Into Bernardo Silva. Good from City. Bernardo Silva. Tackled by Ben Davies. Alvarez back in there for City to win it back and goes back into Kyle Walker. Alvarez. City are struggling. But City, I mean, Julian Alvarez certainly showing some fight. What's up, guys? Is Flavius? Well, at the moment, not so good, Flavius. Alvarez. Ball through to Haaland. Can't find him. But at least he actually looked for Haaland there. Son. Akanji steps out and tackles Kulusevski. Gets the ball. Kulusevski down. City play on. Come on, keep going, City. They've got a man down. Let's move. Wide to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo. Alvarez and Haaland in the box here. Bernardo. Rodri. Wide to Mahrez. It's so laboured in the attacking phase. Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez still. Walker overlaps on the far side. Rodri. Wide to Walker. Kyle Walker here. Spurs player's gone down in the box. Free kick to Spurs. Romero pulling Haaland's shirt. Haaland pulls his shirt back. Free kick Spurs his way. Well, Romero pushes Haaland. Haaland gets hold of his shirt and the referee gives the free kick the other way. Flavius, of course, a We Are City member. Good to have you, Flavius. It's a shame that you're not here watching and listening to a Manchester City win. Ben Davies for Spurs. Beats Mahrez. Back to Lloris. Romero under pressure from Grealish. Romero. Left-footed lump forward straight to Rodri. Rodri past Kulusevski. Rodri still here. Rodri wide to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo cross in. Blocked by Emerson Royal. Good defending by Emerson. Got his body in the way. Flavius just watched the game and trying to understand the plan. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the players know. Feels like they don't, does it? Feels like they've no clue, the City players today. Walker. Alvarez. No pass on. Back to Walker. Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez for City. Mahrez still. Kick by Perisic. Free kick to Manchester City. A kick by Riyad Mahrez. Or kick on Riyad Mahrez by Perisic. I have no way of watching the game, so your commentary is amazing. All I have. Well, no worries, Redite. That is what the commentary's for the people that are watching and not watching as well. So you guys can enjoy the game. Rico Lewis for Manchester City. Wide to Jack Grealish. Grealish on his left-hand side. Skips past Kulusevski. Nice findings, Bernardo Silva. Lewis back to Bernardo Silva, who misread that pass. But Lewis working hard for his side. Back in there to win it. And Kulusevski gets past him. Lewis with a little kick on Emerson Royale. Ball through to Heung-min Son. Akanji back to goalkeeper Edison. It's a free kick Spurs' way again. Well, Andy Madley here says whatever Spurs want. Another free kick Spurs' way. Rico Lewis here. Kick by Kulusevski. Referee says no free kick. Bit of a kick on Lewis on Emerson on the way through. Nothing in it, but the referee gives it. I think we're trying to win, but you couldn't tell, said Lanky. Yeah, I mean, the players obviously want to win. They just don't know how to, it feels. Just feels like Pep watched some YouTube shorts of FIFA 23 best formation. Decided to try this one out today, says Flavius. I wouldn't put it past him. Just the way we're playing. He seems to be very, very set, Pep Guardiola, on playing this 3 at the back with the full-back playing as a 2 in front. He's very set on that. No matter what we do, he wants to play that way. It's not working. Rico Lewis. I mean, maybe, Pep Guardiola will argue, well, we'd be at 0-0 if it wasn't for a mistake, but we wouldn't have scored any goals, would we? I mean, is Pep thinking long-term about winning the Champions League this season, being more defensively? Here's Rodri for Manchester City. Rodri under pressure from Son. Rodri. Good tackle by Romero. Rodri had to make the pass there. 3 or 4 options and couldn't find them. And Spurs come on the counter now. That's bad by Rodri again. Akanji, good tackle on Kane, who rolls his leg out at Mahrez. City still. Mahrez now. Mahrez. Gotta pass that to Grealish, Riyad Mahrez. What are we doing? So selfish. Alvarez. Rodri. And just straight to Lloris. But Mahrez had to find Grealish there. He stood in acres of space on the left-hand side. Riyad Mahrez just had to pass it to him. Greedy Mahrez. So greedy from Riyad Mahrez. Should have found him. And Rodri with a shot that knocked towards the bottom corner. Hardly any power in it. Into the hands of Lloris. Riddice says you can tell Rodri needs a rest. Yeah, I think you can. And that isn't entirely Rodri's fault. That's not Rodri's fault, is it? That is the planning that City put in this summer, signing Calvin Phillips, who's been an utter and complete flop. 40 minutes gone in this game. Ball forward by Lloris. Rodri loses out to Son, but he gets it back down to Ake and back into Walker. Here's Rico Lewis from Manchester City. Edge of the centre of his box, out to Rodri. Alvarez. Walker finds some space. Walker, ball into Erling Haaland. City with a chance here. Haaland. Wide to Grealish. Grealish, 1-on-1 with Emerson. Grealish. Just over the top corner by Jack Grealish. Very close. Disappointing, Jack Grealish, they didn't score that. Haaland, he thought he was going to hit it. He goes wide to Grealish, who beats Emerson. He beats Romero. He tries to bend it towards the top right-hand corner, but he can't find the back of the net. Lanky wants Paulinho from Fulham. Well, he looks a real player, doesn't he, Paulinho from Fulham? The only thing is him, he's like a walking yellow card, isn't he? He just likes to foul people, I think, as well. Akanji here intercepts the Spurs long ball. Manuel Akanji into Bernardo's, into Alvarez. It's a shocking pass by Akanji. Why does he play it on the floor? Alvarez gives it away, but the pass by Akanji is terrible. Here is Kulusevski. Ball in behind to Emerson Royale. Akanji sliding challenge off Emerson. And the referee gives a corner. Akanji tackles Emerson. It flicks up off Emerson. And behind for a goal kick, but the referee gives a corner. It's hard to tell, both touch it, to be honest with you. I think Jack should probably play DM to sub Rodri out after some of the defending he's done. I know Grealish has been fantastic. Better defensively than going forward, hasn't he, Jack Grealish? That's the worrying thing, I think. Ruben Neves, says Ridite, and he claimed his signature celebration back from Rashford today. Yeah, true. I won't mind Ruben Neves. I think he'd be good in Manchester City's midfield. I think City might lose Calvin Phillips in the summer. Well, I wouldn't say lose. Perisic with a swing in here from the corner. Edison just punches it, can't collect it. Højbjerg back out to Perisic. Perisic looking for a cross on his right foot. Near post, Eric Dyer. Harry Kane! City block it away. Eric Dyer blocked away by City again. Eric Dyer once more and lumped away by Ake. City very lucky not be 2-0 down here. Spurs with 3 or 4 chances here to cause problems for City and nearly score. Just couldn't get it in the back of the City net. Just couldn't get it in the back of the City net. Perisic should take the throw in here. Down to Kulusevski. Under pressure from Grealish, who's got his foot in there, and Kulusevski and wins it back for City. Well done, Jack Grealish. Haaland. I'd say at the moment, Jack Grealish is our best player. And even he's not been that good. Very good chance there, Spurs. Flavius says lose most like timely. Get rid of him, yeah. I mean, well, he's played 3 Premier League games, Calvin Phillips. Grealish, great player by Grealish. Pushed and pulled, and the arms of, I'm not sure who it is, a Spurs player right around him. Grealish isn't happy. Free kick Manchester City. Well, it looks like City are going to go in at half-time against Tottenham Hotspur behind once again. 44 minutes of football played so far. I hope Pep Guardiola just says to the side at half-time, what are you doing? Rodri. Oh my God. Rodri plays it straight out for a goal kick. I think Rodri might be getting dragged off at half-time. I genuinely believe Rodri might be getting dragged off at half-time and put İlkay Gundogan in the holding role. I know transition-wise we're going to struggle more because Gundogan no way has the defensive ability of Rodri. But Rodri at the moment is playing for Spurs. Picks the ball up in the centre circle, looks to play spray a ball out to Mahrez, and he doesn't even overhit it to the sidelines. He just puts it out for a goal kick. It was unbelievably from Rodri. Lloris Long. Header won by Rodri against Bentancur. Haaland tries to flick it onto Alvarez path, but he can't do. Emerson Royal. Ball in behind to Kulusevski. Foot race with Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake beats him to it. Good pace shown by the Dutchman. Ederson. Into Walker. Under pressure from Son. Walker flicks it away from Youngmin Son. 2 minutes of added time here. Injury time at the end of this first half. But a lacklustre performance from Manchester City. All the possession. I can't even think of a shot on target. I think Rodri's shot was the only one on target. Grealish had one go over the bar, that's about it. Spurs have had all the chances. Walker. Mahrez. Ball into Bernardo Silva. Terrible by Bernardo Silva, just gives it straight back to Spurs. Rodri pressing. Good win back by Rodri. Julian Alvarez. Julian still, he wants a pass, he can't find one. He's got to go wide to Jack Grealish here. Grealish, clipped in by Grealish. Over Rodri. Mahrez at the far post. Riyad Mahrez off the crossbar. Off the crossbar by Riyad Mahrez. That was the chance. Off the crossbar by Riyad Mahrez. Falls to him at the far post, gets 2 underneath it. Just. And it's up onto the crossbar by Mahrez. What a chance, says Flavius, quite right. Bernardo Silva being bullied here. Højbjerg beats him to it. Rodri intercepts the pass, but it's back to Spurs. And Spurs have got 5 players forward here. And there's only 2 City players back. There's a ball wide to Harry Kane, but it's overhit. And Harry Kane can't get there. Lucky, lucky City. Lucky, lucky City. Unlucky Riyad Mahrez, they didn't score. Falls to the far post. And he slams it with his left foot towards the top left-hand corner. And it cracks the crossbar. Lloris just stood watching it. Wood Romero have kept it out. He was jumping for a header on the line, I'm not sure. Mahrez ball in behind to Bernardo Silva. Beaten to it by Eric Dyer and lumped away by Ivan Perisic. Referee says there's still 10 seconds or so to go. Manuel Akanji, the whistles come from the Spurs fans who feel the pressure from City now after that Mahrez shot. That is half time. Spurs 1, City 0. Not the best game of football. And certainly not a good performance from Manchester City. Pep Guardiola has got to get into those plays at half-time and change something. Rodri is having a shocker in midfield with his passing anyway. I mean, to be fair, I don't want to be sounding silly now, and maybe I am sounding silly, but that's 0-0 if it wasn't for Rodri gifting them a goal. And we've hit the bar. It'd look very different, wouldn't it? But still, we don't look like scoring particularly. City 0. Spurs 1. We've been here before, City, haven't we? We've been here before. And surely, City come out like they did last time in the second half and show some real attacking quality. 15 minutes or so, much less probably, for you guys to talk amongst yourself in the live chat. I'll be back for the second half as I take a little break, get myself a little snack over half time. for City versus Spurs the second half. Will City make that exciting comeback like they did last time? You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? Add a poll. Will City make a comeback? You guys get voting in the chat, in the poll over half-time. I'll be back very shortly for the second half, which could be the end of City's title challenge. I'll see you very soon.
Got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy, but maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. How do you do? 'Cause I'm feeling so good. Memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. We can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. 'Cause I'm feeling so
Watch I look, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poop, your biscuit tookin'. I'm not the type to go with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trapping out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor. Trying to stack my money up. Cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me.
Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel for the second half of Manchester City versus Spurs. At the moment, Manchester City are 1-0 down. You guys have been voting in the chat here. Do you think City make a comeback? And 72% of you guys do think Manchester City are going to make a comeback today. That would be fantastic if that is the case. We've got MK, Flavius, Killer, Cardizan here who's trusting in Mahrez, Julian, Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland. And City do trying to make it hard for themselves, and they are making it hard for themselves once again. We've also got Sergio Aguero in the chat as well. Hello to you. I don't think you're the real one. I wouldn't mind you being the real one. That would be fantastic. I've been watching some of his streams actually recently because he is in the Kings League, isn't he? The five-a-side. Five-a-side? No, it's not five-a-side. Why am I saying that? 7-8-a-side league set up by, of course, Gerard Piqué, and it's been a pretty entertaining. I've been watching some of the games actually. I've really enjoyed it. So City and Spurs. Pep Guardiola absolutely unbelievably frustrated with his team in that first half after that goal he conceded. Pep Guardiola screaming at Riyad Mahrez at half-time to go at the opposition. Go at the opposition. And hopefully they're going to do that. And hopefully it's going to be an entertaining second half. I really want that. Illustrate XD says, Grealish should be one of our best players this match. I'd say it's a pity no one can find Haaland's runs. Rico Lewis seems like he's struggling today. Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Rico Lewis, he's an 18-year-old being played out of position. What do you expect? I mean, it's hard enough for him already, isn't it? Hard enough for him already. Grealish certainly has been one of our best players today, despite, I think, his lack of sort of, I don't know, final ball, final pass, final shot. That's probably what Jack Grealish is lacking. Haaland, I mean, what's the point of having Erling Haaland? Because every time he makes a run, Bernardo Silva never passes to him, does he? Bernardo Silva seems to refuse to pass to Erling Haaland. I don't know why. So hopefully we see him do that. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully we see him do that. City players on the bench there. Calvin Phillips and Cole Palmer signing banners and so on. Programmes for the City fans. So Manchester City versus Spurs. Rico Lewis. City come out with exactly the same team. If they're going to win the Premier League, Manchester City this season, they've got to come behind in these sorts of games, haven't they? And beat teams like Spurs, go to big grounds and get the points. Second half is underway. Second half is live here on the We Are City channel. You can time your clock up with ours to watch the game with our commentary. Or of course, if you can't watch the game, you can listen to the game right here with all the action. Illustrate has faith. Maybe a 2-2 draw, maybe a 2-1 win for City. A 2-1 win would be very nice, wouldn't it, in the end? Jack Grealish here for Manchester City, beaten to it by Emerson Royale. Alvarez flicks it round the corner. No free kick for the foul on Grealish. And Spurs play on. And here's Heung-min Son in behind to Harry Kane. A sliding challenge by Kyle Walker. He's a massive one. And Edison lumps it away. Big challenge by Walker there straight away. Why is the referee not giving a free kick for the foul on Jack Grealish? I don't know. And that's come much to the frustration of Manchester City there, 40 seconds in to start the second half. Eric Dyer. Back to Lloris. Draw isn't going to do. Draw, lose, same thing at this point in the race. It just might be, isn't it, Flavius, really? City have got to go and get those 3 points here in every single game. We've made too many slip-ups this season, and there's not many left to make. This probably will be the last one we can be afforded, if even that. Sergio Romero. Is he called that? Cuti Romero? Kulusevski. Bentancur. Into Emerson, flip around the corner to Kulusevski. It's bounced in brilliantly. Kulusevski here. In behind to Højbjerg. Højbjerg and Akanji's across, being pushed by Højbjerg. Beaten to it. And it's a throw-in, Spurs his way again. Akanji can't believe it. Kulusevski running at Nathan Ake and Rico Lewis there. Christian Romero, that's the one-line kick. I was going to say, I thought I remembered his first name, and I thought, hang on, I've said it wrong. Eric Dyer for Spurs. Left-footed ball forward. Rico Lewis heads it straight down to Emerson. That's poor by Lewis. Into Harry Kane, who misses a chance there. That's so bad by Lewis. Behind him, Edison. He's saying, pass it. Mahrez dispossessed and a free kick City's way. I don't get why Edison's telling Lewis to head that away. And he doesn't, he heads it straight down to Emerson. Edison's telling Lewis there's no one behind him. Well, the cross comes in's really good, actually. Harry Kane goes to smash this in with his left foot. And he just misses it. But, I mean, if he hits that, that's 2-0. And that's game over for City. I don't think they're coming back from 2 goals down. However, we did it at the Etihad. But this is away at Tottenham Hotspur. We've never scored a goal at Spurs' ground, actually. This season, City have scored the most goals in second half. 30. But so have Spurs. They've scored 27. Haaland offside here. Free kick to Spurs. Don't know why we're lumping up to Haaland when he's already offside. He looks frustrated, Erling Haaland, at the moment. City aren't passing to him. They aren't finding him in attacking areas. Davies. Back to Lloris. Lloris long on the left foot. Nathan Ake beats Kulusevski to it. Heads it straight out to Emerson Royale. Grealish in there with a shoulder. And it's a free kick Spurs' way for a foul by Jack Grealish. Well, obviously, if Spurs did that to Grealish, it's not a foul. The other way, it is a foul. Ilkay Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne are warming up for Manchester City. I'm surprised if we don't see one of those two come on today. Certainly needed off the bench, aren't they? Back Spurs go to Lloris. Forward by Lloris. Walker wins the header. Out for a throw into Spurs in the far right-hand side. Nothing seems to be falling City's way at the moment. No bounce to the ball. Rodri at the moment on his own in midfield, it feels like at times, when Rico Lewis isn't tucked in alongside him. Perisic to take the throw in. Back he goes to Eric Dyer. Spurs will look to avoid the sort of performance in the second half they put in against City at the Etihad. Emerson. Kulusevski giving away to Jack Grealish. Here is Jack Grealish for Manchester City. Emerson working hard to get back. Grealish, foul by Emerson, and a free kick to Manchester City. And Grealish isn't happy, and he's giving a bit of a talking to Emerson. Grealish is saying he's hit me in the back of the head here. We'll have to see. Emerson on the way through. It's actually Romero who kicks Grealish in the back of the head there on purpose. He thought it was Emerson. It was Romero who gets away with that one. Flavius says any striker will be frustrated with all his runs and nothing. City philosophy is a lateral pass instead of a vertical one, and I get it, but especially when they're down, they need to make the pass. I wouldn't be surprised if Pep's arrogance means you don't like subs, says Lanky. Yeah, let's hope there's some subs today. Let's hope there's some subs today. Free kick for City. Riyad Mahrez swings into the far post. Attacking it is Nathan Ake. Spurs get it away. Bernardo Silva it falls to. Bernardo going absolutely nowhere. Pulls it back to Rico Lewis. Lewis. Back into Bernardo. Bernardo past Emerson. Bernardo spins. Emerson's still tight to him. Into Walker. Can he get a cross in? Walker goes for a switch of play instead towards Grealish. Ben Davies leaves it. Grealish can't keep it in. He bounces up and behind for a goal kick. Poor. Ignatis says there should have been in a centre-back here. I would have just played Walker left-back. Or Ake, yeah. I would have played Laporte. Seems so much better in the passing, doesn't it? Bernardo seems a bit greedy. Really trying for himself. Yeah, I'm not liking Bernardo, illustrate. I'm not liking Bernardo at the moment. Doesn't seem to want to pass to Haaland at all. Maybe doesn't like Erling Haaland, that's fine, but play for the team, stop playing for yourself. And of course, Bernardo Silva doesn't even want to play for Manchester City. He wants to play for Barcelona, doesn't he? And he moans every week about playing for us nearly. Here's Rodri. Trying to bring the ball forward for City. City have got to be more attacking here. Got to look like we want to actually score a goal. Walker. I mean, we could have played Cancelo at left back, but we sold him. Or got rid of him, didn't we, on loan? Because we refused to play him. So we've got no left backs now. Literally no one who can play that. Akanji. Grealish. Ake. Rico Lewis. Rodri. Rodri into Kyle Walker. Options for City. Walker, no. We need De Bruyne on the next 15 minutes, says Illustrate. I hope so. I hope so. Akanji. Kanji. Ake. Grealish. Here's Jack Grealish. Against Emerson. He beats Emerson Grealish. Getting pushed and pulled. Grealish still. Emerson makes a challenge. And it's behind for a corner. And Jack Grealish gives Emerson a bit of an earful. Not getting on a Grealish and Emerson. I think Ake is a left back worked well recently. Yeah, definitely. But it's in a back three where the right back tucks in. And today, it's the left back that's tucking in, Enrico Lewis. City are doing it on the opposite side. Jack Grealish on the corner here. Jack Grealish wearing black boots, I think, because he's yet to sign a new deal with a new boot sponsor. Grealish for the corner. Lofted to the far post to Akanji. Manuel Akanji can't win the header. Falls to Alvarez. Alvarez still up against Son. Alvarez can't keep it in. It's behind for a goal kick. Poor from Alvarez. Can't even control the football now. Can Manchester City's forward players. Really poor from Julian Alvarez. Well, City's average positions, we've got Bernardo Silva playing at centre forward, Mahrez on the right wing, and then Grealish and Haaland playing as like central midfielders. I mean, you can see that that's not where he should be. Not where he should be at all. Ball forward by Spurs. Rodri wins there against Højbjerg. Could go into the path of Erling Haaland here. Haaland, for the back of him comes Romero, who wins the header and manages to put it out for a throw-in instead of a corner. Hard work there from Romero. Jack Grealish for City. Back to Rico Lewis. Rodri. Grealish. Up against Romero. Jack Grealish. Grealish still. Grealish to clip in, and it's over absolutely everyone. And behind for a goal kick from Jack Grealish. So poor. Flavia says he's not where he should be because he's dropping down to get a pass, but that's not his game. Exactly. Exactly. Jack Grealish there. I mean, at least he's trying to create some at Grealish. He's a poor pass, but at least he's trying to find someone in the box. At least he's trying to find someone. But we can't seem to. Long by Lloris. Ake beats Kane in the air. Well, we're winning the headers. Good layoff by Haaland into Julian Alvarez. Alvarez still. Got to find the pass now. Alvarez into Kyle Walker. Walker. We take so long. We take so long to do anything. Mahrez. Rodri. Rico Lewis. Back out to Rodri on this right-hand side. Rodri in towards Haaland. Down the box goes Erling Haaland. Walker wins the header. Bentancur away. Nathan Ake gets there. Back out wide to Jack Grealish on this left-hand side. Let's go, Kane and Son synthetic. Must be a Spurs fan, maybe. Or an Arsenal fan. Alvarez heads it on and can't find Erling Haaland. And Spurs lump it away again. Akanji against Kane. Ake wins the header straight down to Heung-min Son. Clipped into Harry Kane in the far left-hand side. And back he goes to Perisic. Spurs in possession. And back they go all the way to Hugo Lloris. Synthetic, a Spurs fan. Well, you've got to be happy with your side at the moment, haven't you? 1-0 up. Playing pretty well. Perisic in behind to Son. Read by Akanji down to Kyle Walker. Walker. Rodri. City just do everything so much slower than any other team in the world, don't they? Bernardo Silva. Bernardo. Giving away. Why is Bernardo Silva trying to beat everyone? Can't he just pass the ball? Gives it away. Flavia says Bernardo looks awful. He's terrible. Get him off. And he's not even getting back to defend Bernardo Silva, by the way. Mahrez is getting back. Rico Lewis, good tackle on Kulusevski. Corner for Spurs. I tell you what, Bernardo Silva can't even be bothered to help his team out when he loses the ball. He's just staying forward. Get him off. Get Bernardo Silva off. He's not even interested in defending for City. Synthetic says put De Bruyne in for Bernardo. Yeah. Or Gundogan. Anyone for Bernardo Silva. Doesn't want to be here. Doesn't want to be here, and he's playing like that at the moment. Corner for Spurs. Illustrates our build-up is so slow. Exactly. Every promising attack is given to Bernardo, who runs into every player like they don't exist. Quite right, Illustrate. I couldn't have put it better myself. That's exactly what's happening at the moment. Perisic in the corner for Spurs. Cross in. Header at the near post. And just over the bar by Ben Davies. Well, if it's on target, it's going in. If it's on target, it's going in. The hologram in goal at the moment. Ederson not saving that one. And over Ederson's bar by Ben Davies. Alvarez just jumps into him. Makes sure he hasn't got a free header. Rico Lewis. Rodri. Here is Alvarez. All over him is Ben Davies. Pushing and pulling Alvarez. No free kick. Son kicks it away from Rodri. Kevin De Bruyne is coming on. Kevin De Bruyne is coming on. Illustrates his Alvarez on a pretty bad game as well himself. He is. I don't think Alvarez is playing well. I don't think Alvarez is playing well at all. But at least, you think he'll score a chance. De Bruyne is coming on. Ake. Back to Akanji. City continue the slow, laboured, devoid of ideas build up from the back. Akanji. Bernardo. Rodri. Rodri brings the ball forward. Bernardo Silva. Shocking ball again by Bernardo Silva. Get him off the field. Get Bernardo Silva off the field, please. They need to put Ruben Diaz, Laporte and Ake for a swap. I don't know. I think Ake's doing okay. I think Ake's winning every header at the back at the moment. Haaland, beaten to it by Romero. Højbjerg. I mean, Spurs aren't playing particularly good football. Ake here against Harry Kane. Nearly Nathan Ake. He's still going. Ake gets back to his feet straight away. Brilliant from him. Højbjerg. Grealish back defending again. Here's Kulusevski. Intercepted by Ake and into Jack Grealish, into Bernardo Silva, who skips past few challenges. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo still. Bernardo Silva. Tackled and it's out for a throw into Spurs. Get him off. I don't think he'll leave just after one season. Let's go, De Bruyne, says Paulo. Riyad Mahrez off. What? Synthetic says he's doing well with Kulusevski on the left wing. I think Ake will get beaten. What is Pep doing? Mahrez off. Mahrez off. Why is Bernardo Silva still on this field? You don't even want to be at Manchester City. Bernardo's gone out to the right hand side. De Bruyne's come on for Riyad Mahrez. My word. Well, I didn't see that coming. I thought surely it's Bernardo Silva coming off, but it's not. Riyad Mahrez off. You can't be happy, Mahrez, but he was getting a talking to by Guardiola at half-time. He was shouting at Mahrez and telling him to go up players. Mahrez obviously not doing what Pep wants, so off he comes. And on comes Kevin De Bruyne. Ball by Spurs to the far side. Walker misses it. Falls to Perisic to the far post. Here's Perisic crossing here. Ake heads it away again and Jack Grealish underneath it. Sliced it. Rodri against Bentancur. Rodri wins the header. De Bruyne beats Emerson to it. Haaland down to Rodri. Rodri gives it back to Spurs once again. Rico Lewis in there. Brilliant from Rico Lewis. Jack Grealish. Kicked by Eric Dyer. There'll be no yellow card for that one. It's a free kick for City. Paulo says Pepe's crazy, certainly. I can't believe Mahrez came off. I mean, he's not done much, has he? But now he's the whole team. Here's Rodri for Manchester City. Rico Lewis. Haaland. Lewis. Just got to move quick. So slow on the ball. De Bruyne gives it away himself. Free kick Manchester City. A kick on the shin of De Bruyne by Eric Dyer. It's a cheap one by De Bruyne, really, because as soon as he come on, then he give it away. It's a bad touch. Redeye says we definitely miss Foden. Well, Foden's not been playing well either. The tactics just aren't working at the moment, I have to say. City need to start trying to find Haaland a bit more. Take a risk, but we're not taking any risks. Everything's so safe. Everything's so slow and safe, and it's not working. De Bruyne with a swing to the far post to Nathan Ake. He wins the header, Ake, but there's no one attacking it, and it's straight through to Lloris into his hands. Haaland looks so frustrated. He's shaking his head here, Haaland. Just nothing goes to him. Nothing is going to Haaland. He's got 25 goals. We know that he can score goals. Find him and he'll score. Emerson goes down, free kick Spurs. What an utter joke. De Bruyne is telling him to get back to his feet. Dive by Emerson. Absolutely nothing in that. 60 minutes of football played here. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And this City performance is laboured. This City performance is just so bad. Romero. Kulusevski. Bentancur skips past Rodri. Bentancur into Kane, who's surely offside here. Apparently not. Referee plays on Emerson. Sliding challenge with Rodri. Kevin De Bruyne picks it up. De Bruyne into Haaland here. It's a bad ball by De Bruyne through to Haaland. Straight to Eric Dyer. Well, finally we look for Haaland, but we don't bloody find him. At least De Bruyne tried to pass it. Great play by Perisic here into Kane. Kane, Rodri, fouls the Spurs player. Advantage played. Spurs from behind here. Here's Højbjerg. Højbjerg. Across to Emerson, and Nathan Ake makes an absolute brilliant challenge again. Nathan Ake is the only decent defender we've got. I swear, Nathan Ake is the only decent defender we've got. Brilliant from Ake. Kicks it into Emerson as well, and it's behind for a goal kick, but we're actually going to get knocked out by Leipzig, says Jack Wilson. City will get torn apart by Leipzig if they play like this. Absolutely torn apart. Emerson and Grealish continue arguing on this far side. Come on. Come on. Why has the game been stopped now? What is that? What is Madley doing? Why has the game been stopped? Redeye says Ake's certainly proven himself this season. He has, hasn't he? This game is just... But it's every game this season at the moment. De Bruyne. Out to Jack Grealish on the left-hand side. Grealish. Up against Emerson Royale. Grealish past Emerson. Grealish sliding his Emerson. Does not get the ball. Free kick City's way. It's got to be a yellow card. It's got to be a yellow card, Madley. Why is that not a yellow card? I think we need our back four to stay the same. Walker, Diaz, Laporte and Ake, says Illustrate. I tell you what, Illustrate, you talk some sense. Exactly what we want to see. Rodri, Gundogan, De Bruyne in the midfield, Mahrez, Grealish and Haaland in the attack. I would love for City just to play that team, Illustrate. I'd love for Guardiola to stop messing around and play that team, but he won't. Yes, it's defensive in the fullback areas, but then surely that gives a bit more freedom up top. So free kick for Manchester City. It's pretty much right near the byline, maybe 3 yards away, and on the edge of the box as well. De Bruyne on the free kick. De Bruyne to the edge of the box to Alvarez! Oh, somehow it doesn't go in. Oh my word, how's that not go in? Alvarez hits this on the edge of the box. De Bruyne just rolls it to him. Oh, and it goes just off Dyer. It was going in the top corner. And it come off the knee of Eric Dyer. It was going in the top corner. What a block by Eric Dyer. Corner. Illustrate says 4-3-3 just how it worked for so long. Well, apparently Pep Guardiola says things need to change. Maybe. But at the moment, the change isn't working at all, is it? Corner Manchester City to be taken by Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne. Lofted one in towards Rodri. Can't win the header. Rodri down to Alvarez. Julian. Julian against Son. Cross in here. Away. Falls to Manuel Akanji. Handball by Romero. No, Akanji still. De Bruyne! Wide by De Bruyne, but City want a penalty for a handball by Akanji. By Romero, who slid in to block Akanji's shot. Does it strike the hand of Christian Romero? Of all the people it fell to, it was Manuel Akanji. Romero stops it with his hand there to stop it going in. Hit his hand, says Jack Wilson. Well, Romero's hand stops that going through. No penalty for City. City play on. Rodri. Grealish. Flying through him is Romero. It's a bad pass by Rodri again. And Spurs counter. And here is Heung-min Son for Spurs on the counter. Son. Wide to Perisic. Harry Kane misses a sitter. Can't get on the end of the cross. So close, Harry Kane, to making it 2-0. Absolutely cut open on the counter by Spurs. Electric from Spurs again. Son wide to Perisic. Far post is Harry Kane. And he can't get end of the ball. That's crossed in by Perisic. Ederson somehow didn't cut that out. The goal, I mean, I think we've got more problems than just the forward areas than the midfield. Spurs should be 2 or 3-0 up here. Down is Romero. Get back to your feet and City to play on. Anyone else saw Salah has 1 goal in the Prem? Yeah, he's had a shocker this season, Mo Salah, hasn't he? Really bad season from Mo Salah. Goal kick for Manchester City. Ederson trying to get his players going. I just don't know what the point is, Ederson. Plays it short to Rico Lewis. City, 65 minutes of football played. Yet to look like scoring, particularly. A long way to go yet in this game. But that time will tick down pretty quickly. Rodri. Walker. Alvarez creating space for Kevin De Bruyne. Rodri for Manchester City now. Rodri. Wide he goes to Bernardo Silva. Rodri, Rico Lewis. Bad touch by Lewis. It's a really bad touch. And he's gone flying in to try and win it, Rico Lewis. And Emerson's played it in behind to Højbjerg here. He's an absolute mile offside. Who shoots and scores and beats Ederson, but he's offside, Højbjerg. A mile offside there. Done the right thing, I suppose, Højbjerg there, because if he is onside here, which he's not, he's an absolute mile off. If he was onside, then VAR would check that and give them a goal, wouldn't they? Kyle Walker. Here's Walker. Into Kevin De Bruyne. Finds Alvarez instead. De Bruyne. Back to Alvarez. Alvarez! Oh, just off the bar by Julian Alvarez. Nearly. A top corner strike from Julian Alvarez here. Good try. At least he goes for goal. He's the only one. Good pass by De Bruyne into Alvarez. Just turns and hits it straight away. Ooh, just over the bar by Julian Alvarez. Good try, says Flavius. And Illustrates thinks Rico Lewis should come off. Yeah, Lewis not having the best of games, is he, the young man? He's been spun again here, Rico Lewis. They played him out position. What do you expect? Kulusevski. Lewis chases. Kulusevski still against Rico Lewis. Kulusevski with Lewis. Kulusevski. Emerson. Back to Kulusevski. Intercepted by Rico Lewis brilliantly. Good defending by Rico Lewis. Here is Spurs still. With Ivan Perisic on the left-hand side. Clipped into Romero. Up and over the top to Harry Kane. Akanji chase it down. Ederson lumps it long for City. Straight back to Spurs, but Haaland's chasing it. Haaland's getting involved. Nodded down by Haaland. Only as far as Kulusevski, who's tackled by Rico Lewis. Good hard work by Rico Lewis. Taken by Bentancur. And here comes Spurs the other way. Bentancur into Harry Kane. Harry Kane flashes one past the post here. Was he looking for Son or was he looking for goal there, Kane? I think he was looking for goal. Red says Bobby Firmino is Liverpool's top goal scorer, but he's in third choice. Liverpool's top goal scorer since the World Cup is Wout Faes of Leicester. 2 own goals. He's Liverpool's top goal scorer at the moment. Alvarez. Bad layoff to Kevin De Bruyne. Bad pass by Julian Alvarez. And Spurs back in possession. And the game is just passing Manchester City by here. Heung-min Son for Spurs. Past Rodri with ease. Heung-min Son. Harry Kane. Kane! Oh, brilliant work by Harry Kane. And somehow Ederson comes out and saves it. Haaland's getting more pass and cross from Ederson than anyone else is, Flavius. Yeah. I feel like Ederson gets himself an assist, Flavius. Just maybe. Kane here goes through Walker and Akanji. Just flicks it between the two of them. Then a shot that deflects back off him after a save by Ederson. I mean, if Ederson didn't save that, you'd be worried, wouldn't you? Not that we're not worried already. Akanji for Manchester City. And City are being absolutely torn apart defensively here. Rodri for City. Rodri. Into Ake. Ake into Grealish. Jack Grealish for Manchester City. Grealish, kicked by Højbjerg. Free kick for City again. Højbjerg late on Jack Grealish. And Grealish stays down. Come on, City, says MK. Well, they don't seem motivated at all, do they? It's a clear foul by Højbjerg, who kicks the feet of Grealish. I don't even know how Højbjerg can moan about that one. Seems to moan about everything, Højbjerg, while he goes around kicking people, doesn't he? Kevin De Bruyne coming on. To this one for the free kick. Can De Bruyne get a good cross in? De Bruyne swings it in. Bad one. Dealt with easily by Spurs. Kyle Walker. De Bruyne's in space on his far side, but he goes to the opposite side. Does KDB. Crossing by Bernardo Silva. Headed away by Spurs again. Kulusevski counter again for Spurs. Kulusevski beats De Bruyne. Back to his feet. Jack Grealish across. And Jack Grealish. Another late one on Jack Grealish. Another free kick to Manchester City. And Kulusevski kicks it away. Another free kick to Manchester City. Flavius' poor Jack always getting taken down by defenders. Well, again, caught by Kulusevski. Grealish on the shins. On the shins. And here's Grealish for City. Taken down again by Romero this time. Crossing by Kevin De Bruyne. No free kick for Manchester City. Romero stays down. That's a play on City because there's nothing wrong with him. Nothing wrong with him. Romero needs to get up. He's worried about getting sent off all the time, Romero. What he starts to do is, I've seen him play for Spurs a few times, a lot of times, he'll make a foul, and then he'll go down as if he's been injured when he's fouled the opposition player. Rudai says the Sané, Aguero and Sterling link up with David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne was the best attacking front line. No one's ever stopped them. Yeah, I mean, you miss those sort of things, don't you, when City had energy in the attack. We've lost a lot of that. Joao Cancelo's got another assist for Bayern Munich as they are winning their game. Well done, Joao. No surprises, is it? He's going playing well at Bayern Munich. Nathan Ake. Rodri. Kyle Walker. Walker still. I wonder if Bernardo Silva's doing a Cancelo, and he just thinks if he just plays badly, then he won't play it. I don't think our attackers are a problem, to be honest, as illustrate. I think we need someone with a bit of pace up front, but I think there's too many problem areas to me to talk about, illustrate. I think defensively we've got a problem, and we've got 5 centre-backs. I think offensively we've got a problem. I think midfield-wise we've got a problem. I think goalkeeper-wise we've got a problem. Rodri, wide to Kyle Walker. Get in the box, players! Walker swings one in, it's behind for a corner. Aimless crosses from Manchester City. Cannot break down Spurs at all. Corner to be taken. Can we get a goal back? To be honest, I'm glad Cancelo's doing well at Bayern because they need him to take down PSG, says Flavius. Well, I hope he does well at Bayern because they'll buy him for 70 million, won't they? Hopefully. I don't think they will. De Bruyne with a swing in from the corner. Rodri in there! And Rodri right up and over the bar by Rodri. Manchester City are still yet to ever score a goal at Spurs' ground. Still no goals ever scored at Spurs' ground and 2 penalties missed. Will that continue? I'm happy with Grealish's corners today. He doesn't usually take them. Yeah, he's been okay on the corners, Grealish. It's a shame no one's been in there to win them. Get the head on them, really, is it? The one in the first half was very inventive, but Spurs have sort of cottoned onto it. Ake against Kulusevski. A foul on Kulusevski by Nathan Ake. And a free kick Spurs' way. Well, City now are resorting to sort of just complain at the referee. Spurs are going to keep going down. They're going to keep winning free kicks and they're going to see this game out. It might feel like, you know, it's a long way to go at 75 minutes, but it's not. City have still not had a shot on target again. Still no shots on target for City. Seen this before, haven't we? It's like watching the same film over and over and over and over again. And every time you watch the same film, you're expecting a different outcome. It's not going to happen. Son here, beating Kyle Walker to do it. Derp's here. Hi to you, Derp. Ben Davies. Perisic. Into Davies. Won by Walker, who plays a shocking pass back to Spurs. Son. Højbjerg. Kulusevski. Tackled by Akanji. Rodri out to Alvarez. City have got to go. We've just got no pace. There's absolutely no pace. Our defending is too frantic and our attacking is too slow, says Illustrate. Quite right. Bernardo Silva skips past Perisic. That's got to be a yellow card for Ivan Perisic here, who gives a thumbs up to the referee, which he knows. Flavius says it's funny considering we have rapid strikers. Exactly. We've got 2 of the fastest strikers in the Premier League, perhaps. And then just everyone around him can't even run. How are you meant to beat a team that just constantly fouls you and the ref does nothing, says Jack Wilson. Yeah, I mean, the ref hasn't been great either at times. City don't look like scoring. Ball in here. Nathan Ake at the far post, pulls it back! Spurs want City want a handball, they say no. Romero lose it to Ake and Emerson puts it behind for a corner. And City wants a penalty and they surround the referee again. City wants a penalty again for a handball. Rudai is currently playing the City career mode with a front 3 of Haaland, Leao and Sané. Maddison and Grealish in the midfield. Wow. That's a pretty attacking team. I don't think City will get a penalty for this one. It's too close to come off the hand of Emerson, which it does. City 1-0 up. It feels like they are, doesn't it? The way they're playing. They feel like they're winning, City. They really do. Surely we're going to have a chance. We usually have our moments at last, yeah. Might be the only one who doesn't fancy Maddison, says Flavius. A lot of people don't, actually, Flavius. A lot of people don't. Grealish, De Bruyne. City play the corner short. Rico Lewis, Kyle Walker's going to shoot. And he shoots and just bobbles it into Lloris's hands. And Lloris sends the ball forward along to Son. And De Bruyne can't control it. And it falls to Son. And City are in trouble here. City are 3v3 with Spurs. Son, couple of step overs. Son with a left-footed strike. Ederson with a save. Straight into the path of Harry Kane. What is Ederson doing? Højbjerg! Højbjerg! Just drags it past Ederson's post. Spurs are absolutely all over us here. City are just terrible. How are we second in the Premier League? How are we second in the Premier League? Because we're terrible. Absolutely terrible. Spurs had a good chance there with Son. It was a save by Edison, which was a simple one, but he still made a mess of it. We're supposed to benefit off Arsenal's loss, but we can't, says Derp. Did you really think we would against Spurs? I knew we must, but I didn't think we would. There's not much time left here. 76 minutes of football played. Rico Lewis. Nathan Ake. Lewis. I really like this new tactic from Pep Guardiola. Let's play 3 at the back with 2 in front and add control to the team. We just need lots of control because we're so weak at the back. Let's keep adding more and more control. We've added all this control to the team and we still get torn apart in the counter-attack. The control isn't working, is it? Here is Bernardo Silva. Walker. Cross in. Shocker. Headed away by Spurs. Rico Lewis wins the header against Kulusevski. Not a second time. Walker back down to Nathan Ake. And across to Mamo Akanji. Come on, City. Can we at least have a shot on target? Here's Rodri. A draw's probably the best we can hope for here. We might be able to scrape a goal, but can't if we don't shoot. Jack Grealish for Manchester City. Grealish. De Bruyne. Back in behind to Grealish. Grealish here. Grealish. Heavy touch. Grealish. Big tackle from Emerson. And it's a corner. They give a goal kick. The ref. Just don't look the way the players are positioned. Grealish here. Tackled by Emerson. Emerson Royale tackles Grealish and the ref gives a goal kick. How does the ref give a goal kick here? How's the ref give a goal kick here? Well done, Madley. We won't talk about what your brother gets up to. City 1-0 down. Spurs make another change. Ivan Perisic is off. Ryan Sessegnon is on. Flavis says it's not the season, just the games after the World Cup. Yeah, I mean, if City lose today, you'd say the Premier League's over, isn't it? We're just going to try and make sure we get our top 4. And it's the FA Cup and Champions League we've got to concentrate on. But, I mean, RB Leipzig are going to absolutely tear us apart, aren't they? If we play like this. Gush's been really good, but bullied by Spurs defence. Marazov was a bad choice. Exactly. I don't know why Maraz has come off, but don't know why Bernardo Silva's still in the field, because he's non-existent. De Bruyne. Straight into Spurs. Bentancur. Back he goes to Hugo Lloris. Lloris long. Ake. Smashed into by Kulusevski, and the referee somehow doesn't give a free kick. How is that not a free kick for City? Kulusevski's just smashed into Nathan Ake. No interest in playing the ball. It's no free kick. Ridice says bring on Gundogan. Oh, he ain't got anyone who can score a goal on the bench either. Smashes into Ake and gives him a little forearm smash on the floor. Well done, linesman. There's no way we're winning a Champions League play like this, says Derp. Yeah, there's just no way, is there? Absolutely no way. Jack Grealish not happy. Even if we get past Leipzig, Real Bayern, nothing to worry about. Yeah, we've got no chance. We've got absolutely no chance. I mean, Real Madrid lost to Mallorca today. Marcos Asensio missed a penalty. So, they're not doing so well either at the moment. Trailing to Barcelona, but I think Bayern Munich could beat us, but they've had a bit of a bad run as well. Grealish wins it back for City. And Alvarez not even running for it, but he's offside. Ake, De Bruyne. Gives it away, Kevin De Bruyne. Højbjerg, Kane. Akanji out to him. Kane skips away from Akanji. In behind to Heung-min Son. Here's Son for City, for Spurs. Could have been for City, maybe. I'm glad we didn't sign him, really, but... Oh, brilliant from Spurs. Kane finds Højbjerg. Wide to fullback Emerson on this right-hand side. Option to the box. Emerson up against Rico Lewis. Emerson. Kulusevski. Lewis flicks it away from finding Emerson. Emerson slides in on Grealish. Here is Højbjerg. Romero straight into the Bruyne behind for a throw into Spurs. 80 minutes gone here. And City don't look like they're going to even get... They might not even get another shot on goal, City, before the end of the game. It doesn't look like it at all. Just don't like it at all. I think it's done to illustrate 10 minutes left, but all I can see is I can't see where the goals are coming from. No, The only person who can shoot in this team is Erling Haaland and Julian Alvarez, and we never create a chance for them, so they're never going to score, are they? They're never going to score if you don't create a chance for them. Harry Kane here with a foul on Nathan Ake. Arm across the head. Ake seems to be okay. If PSG wins the Champions League, then Messi wins the Ballon d'Or again. Perhaps Red-Eye again. Here is Kyle Walker for City into Rodri. Round the corner to... I don't know. Bernardo Silva's got the end of it. Alvarez sits off him. Alvarez. Julian. To the edge of the box, De Bruyne, who can't control it. Intercepted by Bentancur. Rodri still down. Akanji with a foul on Bentancur. He tells Bentancur to get up. Here's Harry Kane. Ryan Sessegnon. Counter again for Spurs. Sessegnon beats Walker to it. Sessegnon up against Walker. Sessegnon still. Still Ryan Sessegnon here. Doing really well against Walker. Still Sessegnon. Sessegnon into the box here. Kulusevski. Rico Lewis gets across. And it's not a free kick. It's a corner. Ederson's been booked by Madley here for complaining to the referee. Rico Lewis has been pulled by Kulusevski. Referee doesn't give a free kick. He gives a corner. Hits Rico Lewis's hands on the way through. Derpses are just making it easy for Arsenal. Well, Arsenal are going to win it anyway, aren't they, Derp? It doesn't matter if they lose games. Arsenal could lose the next 2 games. We'll still lose most of ours, won't we? You know, considering we're not going to... Obviously, we're not going to beat Spurs today. But we're going to lose other games as well. I don't think this is the only game we'll lose. We've got tough fixtures coming up. Everton away, Fulham away, Brentford away. Crossing here, Ederson punches it away. Back out to Heung-min Son. Son. Taken off him by Alvarez. Into Kulusevski. Is it Eric Dyer? Cross across the box. Away by Haaland. Alvarez straight into the hands of Son. And a free kick Manchester City's way handball by Heung-min Son. Villa is even a hard one to call. Says Illustrate. I think City will beat Villa at home. But I just don't think... don't think it's going to make a difference in the title race, certainly. Son off here. For Spurs. So Son off. On comes... Yiz Basuma. Spurs going defensively. Understandably. And Ilkay Gundogan is coming on for Manchester City. In the 83rd minute for Bernardo Silva. Brilliant. What a waste. Come on, guys. Surely all of us watching the game knew the way this game was going to go. Surely it's going to end 2-0 with a Spurs counter-attack right at the end when City are pushing. We're watching the same film over and over again. Akanji. Bad pass into Rico Lewis. Rodri. The direct games don't matter if we keep on losing the others. Exactly, says Flavius. Don't matter what Arsenal do, because we'll just lose ours, clearly. Ederson for City. Into Rodri. Across to Akanji. Akanji brings the ball forward. Kyle Walker. Walker back into Akanji. Sky Sports just confirming that Ederson did receive a yellow card. Walker out to the right hand side to De Bruyne. Can't find him. Falls to Alvarez. Julian Alvarez here. Into the box. It's a Haaland. Head away by Romero. Rodri back out to Grealish. Down to Nathan Ake. Trophyless season, says Dirt. Well, I think City need to make some big changes in the summer. Rodri. Bad pass by Rodri again. Still finds De Bruyne in the deflection off the Spurs man in front of him. De Bruyne. Out to Grealish. Another poor pass dealt with by Emerson. Emerson, a kick on Grealish here. And it's a goal kick again. Goal kick again. City aren't getting a goal here. Last minute goal again from Gundogan, says Red-Eye. Don't matter if we draw this game, Red-Eye. We're out the title race. Say this every week, don't we? We need to stop thinking we're going to get back into it. Illustrates says Grealish plays with a smile constantly. Yeah, I mean, he's trying, isn't he? To be fair to Grealish, he's trying, but no idea in this Man City side. The team hasn't got an idea. Guardiola's going mad on the sidelines, by the way, talking to his assistant. He looks very angry. Rodri down to Haaland, knocked away. All the way through to Hugo Lloris, the goalkeeper, who takes his time with it. 85 minutes of football played. Trophyless season. A lot of people are saying that. Could be like the 18-19 season again. I don't think we're winning anything this year, are we? I think we need big changes in this side. De Bruyne beats Bentancur to it. Again, De Bruyne has come on, guys, but he's done nothing. He's done nothing. Here's Jack Grealish. Grealish skips past a few challenges. Grealish again. Down from Romero. He's off. Christian Romero's off. Second yellow card, off you go. See you later, Romero. Jack Grealish is giving him something in his ear. And off he goes, Romero. I said he's a walking red card. Dives into a challenge and Grealish makes sure he gets right into him. Off you go, Romero. Get off the field. Red card for being an idiot. Second yellow. Romero just doesn't seem to understand when you're on a yellow card, you can't make certain types of challenges. And he continues to make them. And off he gets sent, the Argentinian. Grealish made sure he was going. Grealish saw Romero there and made sure he fouled him. Knew exactly what he was doing there, Grealish. Clever from Jack Grealish. Off goes Romero. Honestly, I have full faith in this team. Even though we do not look like winning the league, I have faith that we can find a way somehow, says Redite. I don't think so, Redite. Well, you've got more faith than me. Romero thinks he's still in a different league, says Illustrate. Well, he's off, isn't he? Red card for Christian Romero. Well, it doesn't matter. Spurs can play with 9 men. We still won't score today, I don't think. But Kevin De Bruyne's got a free kick opportunity here. Maybe we should have signed James Maddison in the window. Davinson Sanchez immediately comes on for Spurs. For Kulusevski. So Spurs sacrifice an attacking player for a defensive player. On comes Davinson Sanchez for Dejan Kulusevski. He'll take his time. I mean, Romero was sent off, what, at 86 minutes? It's now nearly, it's about to hit the 88th minute. So that shows you how long it's going to take to do this one. Kulusevski's still strolling off. Maddison must definitely score his free kick, says Redite. Maybe that's what City are looking at him for. City want more goals from midfield. I mean, outside of Ireland, we don't get goals from midfield. I'd take a draw, says Derp. Yeah, I mean, a draw is better than a loss, isn't it? In the grand scheme of things, you're not winning a Premier League title with draws. You're not winning a Premier League title with a draw. So free kick Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne over it. Is there a chance here for Manchester City? Kevin De Bruyne. Is this his chance to make an impact off the bench? Personally don't see it. But I'd like to be proven wrong. Kevin De Bruyne for Manchester City. Free kick opportunities. Some push in there from Haaland and Davis. The referee decides he'd just like to waste a bit more time in terms of helping Spurs out. Well done, Madley. Obviously you want that and you're getting that. Kevin De Bruyne to take this free kick for Manchester City. De Bruyne. De Bruyne straight into the wall. Oh, and Spurs player's gone down holding his head. And it's a free kick to Spurs. Is it? Spurs player goes down holding his head, Højbjerg. We know what Højbjerg's game is. We know what Højbjerg's game is. Goes down holding his head. Well done, referee. Does it even hit him in the head here, Højbjerg? I'll have to see in the replay. It hits him in the shoulder. It hits Højbjerg in the shoulder and then he pretends he's hurt his head. Down he goes, Emil Højbjerg. Cheating. Well, that's what the referees allow in the Premier League. I mean, the referees cheat, don't they, to an extent? You're allowed to score offside goals when it depends what team you are, so there you go. 89 minutes gone. City are not going to win this, so... Just so poor from Manchester City. I mean, I can't believe they're doing a concussion check on Højbjerg. It's hit him on the shoulder. The cameras will show you that. The cameras will show you that. This win streak that City have gone on in the past isn't happening, is it? It's not happening like it's happened in the past for Manchester City. It's just not happening at all. We're going to drop the ball back to Manchester City. Here we go. Just time wasted again by Spurs. I mean, what do I say? It's like 90 odd minutes now. There's 5 added minutes. We're into the 91st minute nearly. 3 minutes just waiting for them. Rico Lewis will cross into Haaland and caught by Lloris. Commentary 100% better than the City performance, says Andrew. No shots on goal. No, not a single shot on goal. Useless. Just don't. We might as well say to Erling Haaland, you want to sit on the bench for the rest of the season, Erling, because we're not going to pass to you anyway when you make a run. And the only time we will pass it to you is when we swing an absolutely terrible lump ball into the box and expect you to try and get on the end of it every time. That's the chances we create. Rodri, Ake, Jack Grealish for Manchester City on this left-hand side. Grealish again. Is he going to lump it into the box? He sides against it. Grealish up against Emerson. Back out to Ake. Back to the edge of the box to Rodri. How long before we pass back to Ederson? De Bruyne. De Bruyne swings one in. In there is Ilkay Gundogan. Headed out to Rodri. Rodri for Manchester City. Forgets the ball. Rodri drops it to a Spurs player. Free kick. I mean, Rodri. This has been a Hall of Shame performance by Rodri today. Embarrassing. Embarrassingly bad from Rodri. Can't even control a football at this stage. And he was at fault for the opening goal. I mean, this game's 0-0, isn't it? If it weren't for Rodri. One thing we're not good at is last-minute goals, says Dirt. It's not happening, is it? 92 minutes played. Spurs take 3 points off Manchester City again. And the title challenge is well and truly over. Surely, well and truly over. Walker. De Bruyne goes round a wide area. Kevin De Bruyne. Swings one in, De Bruyne towards Erling Haaland. It's gone all the way over to the far side to Jack Grealish. Up against Emerson. Grealish. Grealish still. Edge of the box to Nathan Ake. Ake. Alvarez. Can't control it. Lumped away by Bentancur. Mamola Kanji in a bit. Rodri really poor today. I would not trust Philip Sears to illustrate. That's an issue, isn't it? Probably the worst game I've seen as a City fan, except when we got beat 8-1 by Middlesbrough. I don't know. I think I've seen worse, to be honest with you. Grealish. Grealish. Edge of the box. Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis still. Ake. Back out to Gundogan. City, just no idea what to do. Jack Grealish from Manchester City running at Emerson. Grealish to the far post. In there's Rodri! Lloris punches it over. And City want a penalty again. They're saying Lloris has punched Rodri. He hasn't done. Rodri's about to head it in. Lloris punched him in the face. Is it a penalty? Is it a 50-50? I don't think City are getting a penalty. Certainly not yet. Rodri's already headed it, so it won't be a penalty. He's already headed it over the bar by the time it comes to him. No, it's not going to be a penalty for City. Honestly, Pep's fault in the lineup today is Ridai. I mean, the lineup's not great, but... I mean, the players don't play well either, do they? Has Pep Guardiola lost the dressing room? He might have done, might he? Has Pep Guardiola lost the dressing room? I think he's staying, but I think a lot of players are going to go. I mean, Aymeric Laporte surely leaving Manchester City this summer. Surely he's going Aymeric Laporte because he can't even get in the City side. I don't know how. Diaz needs to come back, says Ridai. I tell you what, Ruben Diaz and Pep Guardiola mustn't be getting on either because he can't seem to get a game either for Manchester City. Rodri walks away and it's just a goal kick for Spurs. 94 minutes played. That is not happening, is it, for City today? It's not happening for City today. Goal kick for them. City have still not scored a goal at Spurs' ground ever. Never scored a goal at Spurs' ground. Ever. Unbelievable, isn't it? Here's Kevin De Bruyne on the wide right for Manchester City. Here's Rodri for City. Wide to Jack Grealish on the left. Grealish. Grealish for City here. Jack Grealish still. Rico Lewis. Into Rodri. Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne onto his left foot, back onto his right. De Bruyne swings it to the far post. Jack Grealish there for the volley. Emerson heads it away. Grealish. Lewis out to Emerson. It's a free kick Spurs' way. Well done, Madley. No foul there, but they give it Spurs' way again. And Pep Guardiola tells the referee, well done. And it's a free kick Spurs' way. Emerson just flops over the ball. Absolutely nothing in it. Man of the match, Ake Grealish. Man of the match. Absolutely none of them. They're not getting it. Not one of them's getting man of the match. Goal kick by Lloris straight to City. Kyle Walker. You've got to go forward here, Kyle Walker. Walker. Wide to Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne for City. Can't control it, Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne can't even control a football. Gives it away to Bentancur. It's not a free kick. Walker trying to do stupid skills, Kyle Walker. When we're trying to attack at the end of the game. Then he kicks Sessegnon. Utter idiot. And then he gets the yellow card. What is Kyle Walker doing? No wonder he doesn't play. If you want to go, Kyle Walker, go. Because if that is what you think, you should be doing in a game where we need to try and get a point. You're doing stupid tricks and flicks when you're just going to pass it. Try to do a little back heel flick in the 95th minute when we're trying to win a game and giving it straight to Spurs and then kicking out a Sessegnon. Get out of the team and don't come back. Embarrassing from Walker. Full time. Spurs 1, City 0. Absolutely no positives to take from that, guys. Really hope these 3 points don't hand Arsenal a title, but it's a long way to go. And Arsenal have got signs of crumbling. Come on, you Gunners. All the best to City, says Tony Law. Thank you very much, Tony. Well done, Spurs. Played City off the park again, really, didn't they? Absolutely outdid Manchester City again. Frustration. I'd like to take some positives from that result, guys. There's absolutely no positives to take from that Manchester City performance. No one was good either. Legendary Apex. He's talking about Manchester United, who are still behind Manchester City. Still behind City, and we're terrible. So how bad are you, Legendary? If you're still behind City and we're that bad, that must be worrying. Mark Hubert says, what a disgrace. Yeah, poor performance by City. Very poor performance. I don't want to see Kyle Walker playing after that at the end. I think Rodri is out of form. I think City have made mistakes, haven't they? That Rodri has to play, 60 games this season because we can't play Calvin Phillips because we've signed an absolute dud who even when he's not playing, he's injured. So there's your problems right there. Well, at least we could have dropped Rodri for Fernandinho in previous years gone by. We're playing an 18-year-old out of position at left back. And he didn't play well. Who's surprised? Not me. He was okay, wasn't he? But he wasn't fantastic. Harry Kane sinks Manchester City. And that is the title over for City. Arsenal surely lift the title now. Surely lift the title now. We don't even have a replacement for Roger Derp. Exactly. De Bruyne, Haaland. They look so... Haaland looks so annoyed. I don't blame him. He seems to be the only player who really cares. We need some midfielders. Says Derp. Well, that's the way it goes, isn't it? Thank you very much for watching, everyone. It's a shame City couldn't get a win. And it's a shame City's title challenge is over. But they've tried, I suppose. But, tactically things need to change, don't they, at City? Tactically things need to change. I think personnel-wise things need to change. There's a big summer coming. I think all we can do is keep looking towards the summer. Because surely that's the only way, isn't it? That things get better for Manchester City. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. And we'll see you guys next time. Not this weekend's game against Aston Villa, but I think the next one is Manchester City versus Arsenal, where City could have been within 2 points of Arsenal after a win today. Instead, they'll be only 5 points and back to square one. Not happening this season. We'll see you all guys next time.